Next story. A sudden commission. Let's go. To the esteemed problem solver of the seas. I might have missed parts of the beginning because I accidentally pressed this twice. And I tried to get out of it quickly, so I don't know if I actually did miss anything in the beginning. So very sorry if I did. Anyways, to the esteemed problem solvers of the seas, since a certain famous detective ran off to chase a new case, our agency has received 7 requests to find missing cats, complete with dried fish treats from grateful owners, 3 cases of lost and found, and 1 ghostly gold digger case. The client swore her garden was haunted, footsteps by the laurel hedge, and a freshly dug flower bed sprouting new holes overnight. This lady, who just inherited a fortune, was losing sleep until I visited the site myself. Turns out a family of groundhogs had quietly moved into her lovely garden. I suspect they escaped during the recent exotic pet craze. Yesterday, I also made a trip to the library to return Ocean's sailing log just in time, almost overdue. Maybe that brought me some luck, because today I finally got a proper case, even if the client insists it's just about recovering a single valuable item. Lady Truth, are you writing up a case log? Of course, you're easily the most serious client our office has had in ages. Not that I don't enjoy reuniting lost kittens with their owners, but a detective can't live on cat cases alone. Oh, I hope this commission isn't a letdown. It's a bit unusual. I can give you an overview now, but the official paperwork will take a few more days. Huh? Why's that? You look like this is urgent, or at least it matters a lot to you. Because the Julio family's hounds are still on the trail. Those proud trackers only ask for outside help when they're sure the prey is long gone. Reality will change their minds soon enough. In the meantime, let's go over what we know. That's odd. Lost and found cases are usually all about speed. Mr. Iridescence seems anxious, but he's not rushing me to the scene. The longer we wait, the more time the thieves have to fence the loot. After that, it'll be even harder to track down. Lady Truth, have you been following the news about the big joint exhibition led by Whitlow City Museum? With the museum's encouragement, several noble families have signed on. The show will feature 27 pieces of family jewelry, 5 of which have never been displayed before. Though it opens July 24th, the pieces were placed in Whitlow's bank's vault a week prior. But just yesterday, the vault was robbed. The thieves dug a tunnel straight into the vault, bypassing all the security. They made off with stacks of cash, gold bars, and a trove of valuables held for the exhibition. Tunneling, that's so old school. So, you want me to recover the stolen jewelry? Others are chasing the rest. I just want you to find a single gemstone. Aurora. Shape, teardrop cut. Actually looks really pretty. Rounded top, conical base, precise facets, brilliant fire, appears vivid jade green in sunlight, clarity flawless. This is the record for when the family bought it. Aurora, is there something special about this gem? I saw the museum's list, masterpieces and treasures galore. I didn't see Aurora listed. It must be one of the 5 never-before-seen pieces. Let's just say someone cares about it a lot. If you recover other items, we'll increase your reward, but please make Aurora your top priority. Mr. Iridescence explains things calmly, but I can't shake the feeling he's holding something back. People do get attached to special things, but if it's really that important, why not bring in more help? It's odd, but I've tracked down lost cats before. This should be a breeze. Got it. So right now the family still hopes to catch the thieves themselves? Yes, but they're prepared for disappointment. If there's no progress in a week, they'll hand it over to a more seasoned detective. Thank you for your trust. Forgive me for asking, but I understand the police aren't involved. Do you plan to keep it that way? Sorry, the Julio family wants to keep things quiet and handle it internally. Still, I'd rather not just wait around, Mr. Iridescence. Can you share what you know about the case?
No.
Oh, hey,
You
I
know,
can
I got a
actually do
Violetta.
the stuff.
You know, I got a Violetta skin. Sure, she might have died, but that's besides the point.
Right. Do some reading.
So what does my team
I
up
can't
do?
take you to the scene yet, but I've prepared some files.
Okay, then
Crime
take me
scene
to the scene. Ready for
information. A
trial.
photo of the stolen bank vault shows a clear breach in the center. Most safes are open, with several boxes scattered on the floor. Digging a tunnel like that must have taken ages. Didn't expect anyone to use such an old-fashioned trick these days. Any idea where the tunnel leads? It comes out at a shop in the same street. The place changed hands 3 months ago, and the new owner is a total mystery. They've never shown their faces, never renovated the storefront. We're still looking into who they are. Doesn't sound like an innocent bystander. The heist must have been planned at least 3 months back. All that time and nobody noticed a thing? There were city repairs the last couple of months. Any noise complaints were chalked up to construction. A radio. It's a little old, but it works perfectly. Clearly well cared for. Oh, Mirror Iridescence, why'd you bring this? Want to catch the news? But the heist hasn't gone public yet. A witness said that on the night of the robbery, he accidentally picked up the thieves' radio chatter while tuning in, caught a bit of their conversation. Unfortunately, he didn't take it seriously at the time. Since it was just interference, he couldn't pin down the exact frequency. Was it just a similar band, or was the detector acting up? What did he hear? He overheard the thieves talking right before they entered the vault. At first, he thought it was a radio play or a prank. But when he heard Whitlow Bank, he realized it might be real, a robbery in progress. He called the police, but they thought it was a prank and ignored it. What a shame. I get why the police dismissed it, but if only they'd taken it seriously, maybe they could have caught the thieves in the act. By the way, does this radio really have that many features? It's been modified. Looks old, but it works as well as, or even better than, most radios you can buy today. You mean we might be able to recreate the frequency crossover accident from that night? Let me give it a shot. I remember Whitlow's news station is at 8.5 MHz, right? That's right. Just tune this radio to 8.5 and you're set. Now broadcasting Whitlow City's municipal announcement. Beginning on the 15th of last month, the city's council's inspections of old underground works in the Mill District, Limerick District, and other historic neighborhood is nearing completion. Only about a week remains. The full schedule is published on page 3 of today's Whitlow Gazette. The municipal engineering office reminds everyone that work begins daily at 8 a.m. Mill District, isn't the bank somewhere around here? Yep, that's the place. The robbers found the vault so precisely. Could it have something to do with the construction here? Besides, the dedicated frequencies, there are still some public bands, right? I read about them in a book once. Whether you're doing community research or just a radio hobbyist, as long as you keep your transmission's power within the allowed range, you can chat freely on those open bands. And to avoid interfering with regular communications, these license-free bands usually don't allow high-power transmissions. Lady Truth, are you interested in this? Wasn't the witness that night a radio enthusiast? The frequencies he used must have been in this range. I want to see if I can experience what he did. Frequency crossover is pretty random. Are you planning to just try your luck, Lady Truth? Hey, it's worth a shot. Besides, if the robbers managed to get through by accident, their frequencies couldn't have been very high either. Worst case, I'll just end up eavesdropping on some faraway chatter. Kind of romantic, actually. D D D D D. Oh. I'm picking up something. That's Morse code, and those are some special abbreviations. Is this how hobbyists talk? Probably to save time. Do you know what those codes mean, Lady Truth? Ha, you're not going to stump me. I've been reading up at these past few days. I'm not an expert yet, but I get the basics. On the radio, CQ is short for CQ. It's a general call out to other stations. DEGX2BEM means the call is coming from station GX2BEM. PSE is please. Here, it's asking for a reply. And K means over. It's the end of the message, waiting for a response. Isn't it bad manners to butt into an ongoing radio conversation? Maybe I should just listen quietly for a bit. Still, it's lively. There's something magical about catching messages from far away. Huh? Mr. Iridescence? Oh. Huh? Mr. Iridescence seems in a good mood today. Happy? No, more like relieved. Did something good happen? I thought I was hiding it well. You really are sharp, Lady Truth. I do have good news for you. Since our family hasn't made any progress on the search, the Yulio family has officially decided to hire you for the case. I've already spoken to the bank. They'll cooperate fully with your investigation. Here's an advance payment. The family hopes you can start right away and recover the gem. So, this is the good news Mr. Iridescence mentioned? Not sure the Yulio family would agree. Mr. Iridescence puts a thick envelope on the desk and slides it over to me. Also, given the circumstances, whether you succeed or not, Lady Truth, the family asks you to keep this case completely confidential. Whoa, the Yulio family really is as wealthy as the rumors say. Classic old school nobility. Even if Mr. Iridescence's mood is a bit odd, the theft itself is definitely real. If I catch the thieves quickly, maybe I'll recover not just Aurora, but other stolen treasures too. I've been stuck reading reports for days without being able to visit the scene. I'm itching to get started. Don't worry, I'm taking the case. Time to see what these old-fashioned thieves are really like. Chapter 1. Mysterious Frequency. Actually, before I start. So, if I did end up having to do that thing every single day, you guys will probably not see me do that. I'll probably cut it so that it, flows nicely into this story. But yeah, at least you'll know that I did not do that every day. So yeah, anyways, we'll get back to the story. Chapter 1. Mysterious Frequency. Mr. Inference still hadn't wrapped up his case, so I was alone at the office when a new client showed up. Mr. Iridescence came to see me in person. He told me that about a week ago, the vault of Whitlow Bank was robbed. The thieves bypassed the main entrance, dug a tunnel straight into the vault, and made off with most of the valuables inside. One of the stolen items was a gemstone called Aurora, a favorite of the Yulio family. They'd already sent trackers to try to catch the culprits, but after coming up empty, they turned to a detective, me, for help. Mr. Iridescence wanted me to recover the gem as soon as possible, since it was supposed to be displayed at an upcoming exhibition. I didn't quite understand why they insisted on keeping things under wraps and handling the investigations themselves at first, but given how urgent the situation was, I decided to take the case. Mr. Iridescence and I set off for Whitlow Bank together. As soon as we entered the bank, I noticed a tall woman waiting at the front desk. She introduced herself as the bank manager. After greeting Mr. Iridescence, she didn't even bother to check my identification and led us through layers of security doors into the heart of the vault, where she started recounting what happened that day. Inside, rows of built-in safes lined the walls, their metallic surfaces gleaming coldly at every corner. Unfortunately, the gaping hole in the floor and the many pried open safes made the place look like a disaster zone. Even faced with such a huge loss, the manager still appeared calm and professional. Oh, it's Dreamwitch. Her makeup was flawless and she wore a polite smile the whole time. Her necklace and bracelet matched in style and it looked expensive, the gems rich in color. Her business suit was perfectly tailored, not a wrinkle in sight. This is the vault. Other than taking inventory, we haven't touched anything at the scene. On Monday morning, I opened the vault doors and saw this, a giant hole in the floor leading straight underground. Dozens of safes had been pried open, papers were scattered everywhere, and broken bricks and dirt littered the ground. We were about to call the police, but the Yulio family quickly sent this gentleman over to talk to us. I told them the Yulio family wanted to keep this incident as quiet as possible, absolutely no leaks. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that last name right, but we'll go with it. Of course, that's not a problem at all. The bank is just as eager as Mr. Iridescent to recover what was stolen. We'll do anything we can to help your investigation. So the Yulio family found out about the robbery almost immediately. It's just that our auditors from the headquarters are coming in 5 days and now this happens. The Yulio family will handle the coordination. That's a relief. Lady Truth, this way, please. Let's see, have you figured out where the tunnel leads? We've traced the tunnel's direction. If you go down the hole and walk about 30 meters, there's a fork. One branch leads to a storefront on the same block that was sold 3 months ago. The other connects to an abandoned train station. I've already reported the situation with the shop to you. We're still checking the owner's details. As for the station, from the blast marks and debris, it looks like the thieves accidentally blew it open while tunneling. We've inspected it a few times. There's nothing useful down there, just an old abandoned station. Can I go down and take a look myself? I want to see what it's like in person. After getting the manager's permission, I carefully climbed down the edge of the tunnel, feeling the chill of the stone through my gloves. A breeze brushed past me, and to my surprise, Mr. Iridescent jumped down as well, landing gracefully. You're coming too, Mr. Iridescent? Of course, let me help you out. 2 heads are better than 1, right? Mr. Iridescent's cat was meowing excitedly at his side. Is it okay for you to bring the cat along? Don't worry, Snowball is very well behaved. If we left her behind, she'd just sneak out to find us anyway. I squeezed Snowball's paw and she let us out a soft meow without pulling away. Welcome to the team. That makes 3 of us on this case. Let's get started and investigate the scene. Emma's so cute as Lady Truth. With our flashlights cutting through the shadows, we followed the hand-chiseled path and stepped into a wide underground chamber. Rusty train tracks stretched ahead and the whole area looked like it'd been abandoned for ages. I had no idea there were places like this beneath the city. Okay, I'm actually gonna pause real quick. Yoshi has to go to the potty. He keeps bothering me, so I know he has to go pee. So I'll be right back. I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Alright. To continue the story. I had no idea there were places like this beneath the city. Most people don't talk about it, but as the city grows, more and more underground spaces are being built and abandoned. All it takes is a change in plans or a station being relocated. There are a myriad of reasons for these places to get sealed off for good. Was blowing open the abandoned station really just an accident? I'm not buying it. The thieves knew exactly what they were doing. We barely had to take any detours. They stopped right below the vault. But until I find more solid evidence, I'll have to check out the other directions. How's the signal down here? The hobbyist overheard the thieves talking here, right? That hobbyist. Let me think. According to what I read the other day, shortwave signals don't lose as much strength underground. If someone was talking down here, maybe they used a lower frequency? Let me try. Press the button and lower the frequency. Isn't this just upping the frequency? Ah, oh, there we go. Bzz. Lots of outsiders lately. I'm picking something up. What frequency is this? And is that a voice transmission? Didn't get much today. Even the regulars are gone. Anyone know what's up? Blame those spelunkers. Didn't some new faces come poking around a few days back? Better keep a low profile for now. I'm planning to check out their survey area. Bet they left something behind when they ran off. Even if it's just a few spare parts, it's payback for them messing with us. I'm near the station. They were prepared. No obvious traces, and anything valuable's already been moved. People were chatting away on this channel, and suddenly one voice sounded really familiar. Plus, they mentioned the station, which matches exactly where we are right now. Holding my breath, I listened closely for clues in their conversation, following any detail I could catch. Underground, there aren't as many obstacles as above, so the open space made it easy to zero in on my target. When I finally saw a familiar yet unexpected face, I realized where I had heard that voice before. Mr. Pastor? What are you doing here and dressed like that? Wearing headphones for picking up signals. Simple clothes with a bit of dust still clinging to them. Worn out pants that had clearly been seen better days. Mr. Pastor was someone I met at Castle Zenaida when Mr. Inference and I went to pay our respects. Back then he was still a clergyman. Our investigations eventually revealed he was responsible for Zenaida's death. When the truth came out, the trembling man found forgiveness in Zenaida's last words. But forgiveness from the dead can't erase the living's guilt. Miss Waite took Mr. Pastor away, lost in his regret. Mr. Pastor also saw me just as surprised as I was. Lady Truth, what are you doing here? And with this gentleman? After we got over our initial shock, we caught each other up on what we've been doing. I explained to Mr. Pastor why Mr. Iridescence and I were down in these tunnels. He told me he was here as part of his atonement after being released on bail. This place is on the edge of society. Outcasts, opportunists, people running from something. Anyone can find a spot down here. It's a place that takes everyone in. There are even gathering spots underground now, but there's one big difference from the city above. Most people don't want anyone knowing about their past, so everyone goes by code names. It's kind of an unspoken rule. Please call me Netherpack down here, just like you call this gentleman Iridescence. I think I know what case you're talking about. Lately, it's been a hot topic in the underground world. Mr. Netherpat, do you have any leads on this? From what I've heard, the robbers were originally underground dwellers. They came back here hoping to shake off anyone chasing them. Some folks really admire the way they pulled it off and are happy to play dumb if outsiders ask. Others just want to stay out of trouble and don't bother asking questions. Down here, curiosity is sometimes more dangerous than the danger itself. Even if they're carrying loot worth enough to buy half the city. Sure, there might be some people looking to double-cross them, but if you want to stop them, you'll have to act before they sell off the goods at the black market. The black market? Yeah, the black market, though most people here just call it the market. It's a huge underground trading hub, and there's also a pretty big regulatory group running things there. The leader of the group is big on order. Under his watch, violence is strictly forbidden in the market and the surrounding areas. If the robbers made it underground and plan to fence their loot, the market is definitely where they'll go. Maybe that's part of their plan. Mr. Netherpat, would you mind sharing where the market is? I'd like to check it out for myself. It's deep underground, far from any exits to the surface. It's not exactly safe. Don't give me that look, Lady Truth. I really can't. Oh, fine. I'll go with you guys. Most of the routes down here follow old abandoned train tunnels, and there are a bunch of little paths people dug themselves. It's easy to get lost if you don't know your way around. Plus, people here are really territorial. Outside of the so-called safe zones, going into the wrong area can get you attacked. If it's not too much trouble, we'd really appreciate your help, Mr. Netherpact. Thank you, sir. Mr. Iridescence nodded, and behind his glasses he gave Mr. Netherpat a careful look. Feels like Mr. Iridescence is a pretty cautious guy. The market isn't just for trading goods. You can buy and sell information too. If you're looking for someone, you'll probably find something useful. Also, if you plan to stay underground for a while, you should remember this radio channel. It's the public channel everyone uses. Lots of info gets shared there. Is it channel 5.0? I just heard a bunch of people talking on it. That's the one. People share info there for free, and you can ask whatever you want to know. But there's an unspoken rule. Don't ask about anyone's identity. And keep in mind, not everything you hear is reliable. Nobody's responsible for what gets said on the channel. Got it. So basically, no one will ever admit to anything, and you're on your own to judge what's true. Exactly. Even if you figure out who someone is, they'll never admit it. But if you want solid intel, it's faster and easier to just go to the market in person. The market only opens once a week, and that's tomorrow. I can take you guys there. Thanks, Mr. Netherpat. Mr. Iridescence and I will go get supplies for tomorrow. If you're planning to stay until you catch the robbers, you better bring plenty of food and water. Resources are pretty scarce down here, and what's available doesn't taste great. After setting a time and place to meet Mr. Netherpat tomorrow, we're heading back to the surface. Come to think of it, I should probably listen in on what people are chatting about down here. If I know the topics, I'll blend in better tomorrow. Looks like I can tune into the channel as is, no extra setup needed. Hey, did anyone see the food I left yesterday? I hid it really well and someone just took it. Haha, if you didn't hide it well enough, that's on you. You didn't put your name on it, so how would anyone know? Nope, haven't seen it. Yeah, everyone here is just doing their best to get by. Beep, beep, beep. Huh? There's a faint rhythmic static mixed in with the voices. That clicking, it almost sounds like Morse code. Beep, beep, boop, beep. The channel didn't change, but I'm picking up something different. Is this crosstalk? The signal keeps repeating in a pattern like some kind of secret radio station with a special purpose. A hidden station constantly sending out coded messages? How exciting! Feels like something straight out of a spy novel. Or maybe it's just an old abandoned station. If the circuitry's still working, it'll just keep playing whatever was set up before, but no one's really listening anymore. Circuitry. That's possible too. After listening for a while, it's just the same nonsense code looping over and over. I guess Mr. Iridescence was right. Even if there is a secret message, without the key, there's no way to crack it. But isn't that why we're here, to find clues, recover what was stolen, and get to the truth? I believe in you, Lady Truth. I'll do my best. For the rest of today, I'm going to check the scene again and see if I missed anything. The manager said the list of stolen items is finally ready. Took them long enough to make the list. For a bank, that seems a bit slow. Shouldn't they want to reassure clients and recover losses as soon as possible? I put my doubts aside and chatted idly with Mr. Iridescence as we headed from the tunnel back to the bank vault. The manager was already waiting for us, and as soon as she saw us, she hurried over. Where did you two go? And look at all that dust. I'll have someone bring you clean clothes. We got like this while investigating, but no need to trouble yourself. We'll probably get dirty again anyway. Still, for a crime scene, this vault is spotless. The floor and walls are reinforced. Only heavy tools or explosives could break into the built-in safes. Most safes are pried open, some lockboxes are missing, and a few were carried off entirely. The floor is clean except for the big hole. Only dried blood spatters lead down into the tunnel. There's a large, perfectly placed hole in the center of the vault's floor. So if there's blood, then someone got hurt. Did someone clean up in here? No, we left everything untouched, just like Mr. Iridescence asked. This is exactly how I found it on Monday morning. You were the first person to open the vault, correct? Yes, I am the only one who holds the vault key. Every morning before we open, I unlock the vault in front of security and check the cash and valuables. That day, I was the first one at the bank. The robbers definitely planned this. Manager, does anyone outside the staff ever get access to the vault? According to the rules, only staff can enter, and always in pairs. Clients can only use the designated buffer area. They're never allowed inside the main vault. Sounds like you got a tight security. Whitlow Bank's vault uses top-of-the-line locks. I even read about it in the papers. Didn't expect it to be bypassed like this, and in such an old school fashion. I have no idea how the robbers managed to dig their way in. The manager kept cursing the robbers while carefully watching Mr. Iridescence's reaction. We're truly sorry about what happened. We really appreciate the Yulio family's willingness to help explain things to our other clients and ask them for a little more time. Of course, we'd also prefer to keep things low-key for now. Since you're willing to hold off on calling the police, the Yulio family is happy to help negotiate with the other clients about extending the compensation deadline. You flatter me. Serving VIPs like you is an honor. The Yulio family has always been one of our most valued clients. Besides, the extra time you're asking for is to help catch the robbers. If we succeed, it's a win for everyone, so of course we'll do our best to cooperate. Speaking of the missing items, we've gone through our inventory again and put together this list of all the lost precious metals, cash, jewelry, and other valuables. Mr. Iridescence, could you also double check the Yulio family's asset records, especially since your family's safe contains? If we can't recover the items within 30 days, this list will be sent to the insurance company for claims processing. You don't need to include what's in that safe. Even if it's never found, the Yulio family can handle the loss. Excuse me, could I take a look at that list too? The manager glanced at Mr. Iridescence and seeing he had no objections, handed the list over to me. List of stolen items. A detailed table lists the missing items: cash, gold bars, jewelry, gemstones, and a few paper contracts. It looks like even more when you see it all written out. I did a quick mental calculation of the value of those antiques and collectibles. Yikes, that's a fortune. With all that cash and gold, you could easily buy and rebuild a dozen detective agencies. Someone just delivered a letter from Mr. Iridescence. I will be right back again. back once again. This should hopefully
Welcome
be
back
my
again.
last time leaving. Thank you. Also, we've tracked down the person who called the police during the incident. They're on their way. Coming, here I am. No need to rush. You looking for me? The young man brought in by the manager had a beard, and it didn't hide his youthful energy. Pet. A boar followed at his side, surprisingly well behaved and unafraid of people. It seemed to be his pet. His suit was well made and loose fitting, definitely from a well off family. He was wearing headphones, probably for picking up and amplifying radio signals. About that night, the Yulio family has already asked me about it a bunch of times. Are you a detective hired by the bank? Or did Yulio bring in some new people to investigate? Don't worry about that. Just tell these two everything you know from start to finish. Alright. No need to get worked up, miss. I'll talk. Honestly, it's nothing too strange. I'm a story buff. I love listening to stories on the radio with friends. Last Friday night, I turned on the radio like usual, but heard someone whispering about almost digging something up and the sound of a shovel scraping. At first I thought it was a new radio drama, but after a while they still weren't getting to the point. It was just digging noises. Then someone shouted, according to the floor plan, we're only 2 meters from the vault. It sounded like a real robbery in progress. I started wondering if someone was playing a prank. There are always a few jokers who like to broadcast weird stuff on public channels. But these people were talking about explosive, how to split the loot, and even where to sell the goods. Everything sounded way too real. I got worried, you know, what if it was all true? So in the end, I called the police. But the cops didn't buy it at all. They just circled the bank a couple of times and scolded me for wasting their time. Were there multiple robbers? Can you be sure it was more than one person? I'm not totally sure, but on the radio I definitely heard at least 3 distinct voices. I listen to this stuff all the time. I wouldn't mix them up. If I'm right, it was 2 men and 1 woman. That's a really helpful clue. Thank you. Also, do you remember what frequency you were listening to at the time? Frequency overlap doesn't have much to do with the original channel, but I was tuned to 7.4 MHC. People on that channel tell some great stories. You should tune in if you get the chance. Thanks, I'll give it a listen sometime, but right now, solving the case is the priority. Mr. Iridescence, have you finished reading the letter? It's an update from the Yulio family's investigators. Lady Truth, you should take a look too. Seems like we've got some new leads. Investigation shows the tunnel ends at a private shop on the same street. The previous owner transferred it 3 months ago due to poor business. Frank Dawson purchased it and is the current owner. Do we have any more info on this Frank Dawson? Digging a tunnel like that is a huge project. There's no way the owner didn't know what was going on. But given how careful the robbers were, maybe Frank Dawson is just a fake identity. It doesn't seem like a made-up name just for buying property. Frank Dawson is a real person. He's an athlete, won several big track and field competitions 2 years ago and was considered very promising. Unfortunately, his performance dropped off a cliff last year and he quickly faded from the spotlight. And then, that's all I've got. We could find this much so quickly because he used to be something of a rising star. After his results tanked, he was also reported to have had multiple conflicts with his club and teammates. He officially left the team at the start of this year. Since then, Frank Dawson hasn't competed in any public events. He's been out of the public eye for a while now. No reporters are following him, so it's hard to track his recent activities. With so many real-world connections, it really doesn't seem like a fake identity. If the robbers used his name to buy the shop, there must be some link between them. Even if he's not directly involved, he probably knows something. We're trying to get in touch with Frank Dawson, but as I mentioned, it might take a while to get any results. That's a shame, but at least we have other leads to follow. You mean that black market? Yeah, I've been to a lot of markets, but this one's something else. Maybe about someone there knows about Mr. Dawson. Maybe I'm being nosy, but Lady Truth, your positive attitude towards others is honestly a good thing. Are you about to say but, Mr. Iridescence? Amused by my question, Mr. Iridescence chuckled softly, and Snowball peeked over at us curiously. Yes, but the underground world is full of criminals. I just hope you'll be cautious around strangers. Mr. Iridescence spoke slowly, choosing his words with care. I could sense his genuine concern and kindness between those carefully chosen words, especially the group controlling information trades at the market, Hermes. They're very hostile toward outsiders. Yuliel family investigators have been kicked out and sent back to the surface more than once. Whoa, that sounds intense. Let's hope we don't get thrown out. Let's hope we don't get thrown out tomorrow. But the fact that you're warning me about this, Mr. Iridescence, just proves you're a really kind person. For some reason, after I said that, Mr. Iridescence looked even more troubled. Chapter 2, Circulating Rumors. Let's talk about today's story. Lady Truth never goes anywhere these days without that radio. Even the cat on Mr. Iridescence's shoulder seems curious about the noisy gadget in my hand, poking its head out for a look. After hearing what Mr. Story Enthusiasts said, I just had to try out that crosstalk he mentioned. If it's all about luck, then I'll just keep trying. But even if luck isn't on our side, it's okay. I don't believe those thieves could have wiped out every evidence. With careful observations and some good investigating, I'm sure we'll catch those thieves and get the gem back. I have faith in your skills and professionalism, Lady Truth. No need to keep proving yourself. Oh, it's just that a lot of first-time clients start to worry when there's no progress. I was hoping to set your mind at ease. People like Mr. Iridescence are pretty rare. It's really not a big deal. I'd never doubt the detective I hired. Sorry for being late. Just as I was touched by Mr. Iridescence's trust, Mr. Netherpatch found us. He'd also noticed the radio that wouldn't stop crackling. Listening to the stories, Lady Truth? Actually, I'm trying to find the frequency the thieves use to communicate. Haven't had much luck, but hey, the stories are fun to listen to anyway. Maybe try tuning between 3 and 8. Lots of underground dwellers use those frequencies to talk. That's still a huge range. I'm not a fan of just randomly trying things and hoping for the best. It feels like there's nothing I can really do. Well, at least Mr. Story Enthusiast channel is playing detective stories lately. I guess I'm getting a little inspired by them too. Then, as the danger crept closer, the brave and clever Frey made her choice. Gz. Lady Truth, when we get close to the market, you might want to turn that off, or switch frequencies. Folks around here aren't too fond of detectives. Mr. Iridescence's comments about outsiders come to mind, and I get why Mr. Netherpatch is worried. Got it. Better safe than sorry, right? She decided to meet at the market today. Don't forget. Wait, there's a different voice coming through the radio now. Yeah, just waiting to move the goods today. The signal's a little distorted, but it's definitely not the story channel host. Did I actually pick up the thieves' frequency? If it really is them, it sounds like they're planning to unload the stolen goods today. We have to move fast. Exactly, Mr. Netherpatch, please don't worry about us. Just hurry. Alright, if we're in a rush, I know a shortcut. Mr. Netherpatch knows the underground like the back of his hand. The layout is a real maze, and in some places there's not even a real path. He didn't seem lost for a second, leading us through gaps in the rubble until we entered a long, shadowy tunnel. It's pitch dark here, and the air is really thick. Most people living down here don't have the means or energy to improve their surroundings, so most areas are just left abandoned like this. It feels like the forgotten edge of the world, the ruins of civilization, but to me, it's peaceful. Of course it's peaceful to you. But the market is actually kept in great shape by Mr. Goldfoil and his group. Mr. Goldfoil? Is he someone important? Yes, he is. Oh, there he is. We're close. Yeah, Mr. Goldfoil is the leader of Hermes, the largest intelligence network underground. Besides trading information, they also make sure supplies flow smoothly. Even the market is run and kept in order by them. He's got a direct way of making sure everyone follows his rules. No fighting in or near the market. Break the rule and you'll never be allowed to trade with any of his organizations again. He's set up a whole new way of surviving down here, and everyone knows exactly what they risk if they challenge him. And since he controls such a huge network, his threats actually mean something. Mr. Iridescence, you've heard of him too? Only a little. I really admire Mr. Goldfoil. He didn't just set up rules, he sent people to patrol the market too. He stopped a lot of fights before they could start. Without someone like him, this place would be pure chaos. So does that mean there aren't any other big organizations or stable marketplaces underground? That's right, sometimes people barter, but the scales are usually tiny and just within tight-knit groups. Once the transactions get bigger, it's hard to keep control. Monopoly makes a fortune for whoever is in charge. As a businessman, it makes sense he go that route. You can't really survive in this kind of underground chaos by being a good guy, at least not in the usual sense. But honestly, he doesn't sound like a typical villain either. If I ever get the chance, I'd love to meet him. Oh, is the tunnel getting wider? Are we almost there? Watch out! Just as we were about to round a corner at the tunnel entrance, Mr. Iridescent suddenly pulled me behind him. Mr. Netherpat was a split second slower, but he quickly raised his shovel. A dark figure jumped out of nowhere and launched a quick attack on Mr. Iridescence. The blade gleamed in the dim tunnel. Mr. Iridescence barely blocked the blow with his suitcase, but I could feel how hard he was hit. The attacker was covered head to toe in a black cloak, making it impossible to spot any clues about who they were. Suddenly, Mr. Iridescence pushed me away. You two go ahead. Head for the market and find whoever is in charge. The attacker was ruthless and didn't hold back. I was really worried about Mr. Iridescence, but I knew what I had to do. That whole scene just gave me that must have been so cool to watch. Like, Aesop just pulls Emma behind him in like a protective manner. Ah, that's so cute. I'm not shipping them, but it just sounds really cute in my head. I had no idea the attacker had backup and staying here wouldn't help. I didn't know if the attacker had backup and staying here wouldn't help. Even if I hesitated, the smartest move was to get to the market as fast as possible and find help. Mr. Netherpat, let's get going. According to what Mr. Netherpat said before, fights like this aren't supposed to happen near the market. Alright, follow me. But now all the pressure is on Mr. Iridescence. The attacker seemed ready to go after all of us, but when we ran, Mr. Iridescence blocked their way. Now, Mr. Iridescence's suitcase was open and he pulled out a few glass vials to hold in his hand. The cat he'd been carrying was now set down a safe distance away, but it was still burying its claws at the attacker. Oh. Phew, we finally made it. Maybe it was the long walk through the tunnels, but stepping into the bright marketplace made the light feel almost blinding for a second. Even though it's not really that bright here. Before I could catch my breath, I scanned the area looking for the help we desperately needed. Stall. There were stalls everywhere selling all kinds of goods, most of them clearly secondhand. Pedestrian. Everyone in the market, buyers and sellers alike, gave us a wide berth. I could feel people watching us, but it's unimportant. I found what I needed. Excuse me, sir. There was an attack outside the market. Our friend stayed behind to cover us and is still fighting the attacker. The tall guard turned slowly, his heavy weapon scraping against the ground with a chilling sound. What made me relax a little was that he didn't question my story at all. Oh! Hi, Bane! Where is it? It's this way. Please follow me. So, all things considered, Lady Truth, your side of things went pretty smoothly. It wasn't much, really. Luckily, as soon as the attackers saw the guard, they ran off. I was so worried that if I'd been any later, your wounds might have been much worse. Letting a client cover our retreat is a detective's failure, and if you got hurt because of that, it was my choice. I hired a detective, not a bodyguard. All you need to do is find the truth and recover the gem. I don't know why I'm really liking this story though. Like, everything that's been happening is just like stuff that I love so much. That's not true. Even if that's how you see it, I can't accept it. As a detective, I have my own sense of responsibility. It's also making me really like Aesop. At least this Aesop. I can't believe I let my client get hurt protecting me. No, it's just a little scratch and I was protecting myself too. That's not how I see it. I protest silently. But even though we haven't known each other long, it's clear Mr. Iridescence is stubborn. People like him aren't easy to persuade with words. I decided not to argue with him. It doesn't matter. There are more important things to focus on now. Excuse me, sir. Is there a doctor here? My friend is injured and needs medical attention. Come with me. The guard led us through the market, and it was only then that I finally had a chance to look around. Most of the stalls were put together with whatever was on hand, a table here, a blanket spread out there, and business was up and running. At first glance, it didn't seem much different from any regular flea market. The biggest difference was that both vendors and shoppers were bundled up tight, making sure not to reveal anything personal. Their conversations were quick and hushed, and they all seemed completely indifferent to everything around them. They were deliberately ignoring me and Mr. Iridescence, but kept sneaking glances at Mr. Netherpact. Is it because of how we're dressed? Maybe Mr. Iridescence and I don't look like we belong underground. This is the doctor. I leave you to it. I'll leave you to it. Oh, thank you, sir. I snapped out of my thoughts, waved goodbye as the guard left, and turned to meet the doctor's gaze. She was leaning against a table, toying with a syringe. Of course it would be you, because you're literally a doctor. Her hat and clothes were made of a fine fabric, with barely a scratch or stain on them. She smiled gently, but her dark makeup gave her a slightly distinct, intimidating aura. The syringe looked sharp, probably her tool of choice. Huh? Weird. Why does this doctor look familiar? Have we met somewhere before? Call me Antimony. Is this the patient? Just so you know, I only brought the basics. If it's a big wound, you'll have to tough it out for now. It's just a surface wound. I know a bit about first aid, so just some bandaging and stopping the bleeding should do. Mr. Iridescence quickly rolled up his sleeve to show the injury. The dark red gash ran almost the length of his arm, but he looked unfazed, even adjusting to Snowball on his shoulder. Looks like you weren't exaggerating. You could probably handle this yourself. Still, I'd rather leave it to you, a pro. Hey, you're a straight arrow, huh? I've heard you guys got attached nearby. I'll just send the bill to Gold Foil. Come here, I'll take care of it. No painkillers here, so just grit your teeth. Wait, Mr. Goldfoil's group covers medical bills too? I thought they just kept the peace and helped people find doctors. Of course, and if they catch whoever caused trouble, all their assets get confiscated. That money goes to pay for the victim's medical bills first. But even if they can't catch the culprits or there's not enough money, they'll still cover the costs up front. Doctors and medicine are hard to come by down here. That's why people actually follow their rules. Especially medicine for treating wounds. Everyone's after it. You're lucky not just any doctor has this stuff. So, Miss Antimony, you must be pretty busy as a doctor here, right? You could say that. There aren't many doctors around who are both skilled and trustworthy, and Hermes even brings patients straight to me sometimes. There's never really a slow day, but I won't cut into my own rest time if someone's unlucky with their timing. They just have to wait. With medical resources so tight down here, maybe I can ask Antimony about a lead before checking with the real intel brokers. The only ones who could have left blood in the vaults are the robbers. Maybe they fought among themselves or someone got hurt by accident. But judging by the blood left behind, it wasn't just a little scrape you could ignore. Miss Antimony, have you treated anyone with heavy blood loss in the past week? That happens all the time around here. If you're trying to track someone down, don't waste your time looking for shortcuts. Just buy the info from Goldfoil. Judging by your friend's style, money's not a problem. At least if you pay Goldfoil, you know the info is legit. After all, no patient wants to get patched up just to be sold out by their doctor, right? Sometimes hiring a third party really is the easiest way. I get it. So how do we get in touch with Mr. Goldfoil or his group? You know his name and came here today, but don't know where he is? The most eye-catching building. I fell on Antimony's finger and saw a neat, well-lit building. It looks like it used to be a ticket booth, but now the front desk was covered in stacks of documents. A tall man was sitting inside, looking sharp and perfectly at ease. Even from a distance, he seemed to notice me staring, looked up slightly, and met my gaze. It's my husband! Look at him! Hat. His hat was pulled low, hiding most of his face, making him look a little mysterious. He had sharp features and a scar over his right eye that nearly crossed the eyeball. He sat with a quiet confidence, like someone well educated. I could sense Mr. Iridescence and Mr. Netherpatch were both a little tense for some reason, so I decided to introduce myself first. Excuse me, sir, are you Mr. Goldfoil? He nodded calmly, rolled up the paper he'd been writing on, and slipped it into a strange cylindrical case. That's me. Oh, his hat's off! Hey, yo, that's me. How can I help you, miss? I'd like to buy some information from you. A new customer, I see. Go ahead. What do you want to know? Hermes always offers fair prices. How much do you know about the crew responsible for the Whitlow Bank heist a week ago? I kept a close eye on Mr. Goldfoil's expression. Guys like him are usually hard to read. You never know if they're telling the truth. I do know who pulled that job, but it was a spur-of-the-moment thing, so there isn't much info. You're new here, so maybe you don't know the rules. Even if we know someone's identity, Hermes doesn't just hand that over. Too many people come here looking for answers, and just as many want to keep secrets. We only provide info that helps you get closer to the truth, and we guarantee it's accurate. So the rest is up to the customer to piece together? That's one way to put it. Most people just call it finding their target. But you've got the right idea, detective, so you'll have to ask a different way. So I need to ask about traits or clues that could point to the robbers, not directly about their identities. But Mr. Goldfoil already dropped a hint. If it was a spur-of-the-moment heist, they need special tools to dig out that hole in the vault. Mr. Goldfoil, then, do you know if anyone has bought a lot of drilling equipment recently? A lot of people down here need that sort of thing, but usually it's just for personal use. I get what you're after. Sorry you had such a rough first visit. It's our fault for not keeping things safer. To make up for it, I'll give you this answer for free, Miss Truth. Please call me Lady Truth. This address had a bunch of drilling equipment delivered recently. Hope it helps your investigation, Lady Truth. Mr. Goldfoil scribbled down an address and slid the paper over to me. I should have just thanked him and left, but another question popped into my mind. You must have figured out I'm a detective. Aren't you worried I might catch those robbers if you give me this info? You've got me wrong. I'm just a businessman. I care only about keeping the market stable. I have no stake or interest in anyone's private affairs. If someone gets outplayed, that's on them. Besides, that heist caused quite a stir. Honestly, I'd rather not draw too much outside attention down here. Is that why you chased off the Julio family's investigators before? But if you stop them, won't the police get involved later? Wouldn't that be an even bigger headache? Not really. Sometimes the people desperate to get their stuff back are the most reckless, and I know they'll never go to the cops. Mr. Guilfoyle's words seemed to carry extra meaning, and just then Mr. Iridescence, who'd been quietly listening, cut in. Let's go, Lady Truth. We've got the address and time's ticking. Right. Thanks for your help, Mr. Goldfoyle. We'll be off. We walked away, and only when we were a safe distance did Mr. Netherpatch finally breathe easy and peek at the address. Mr. Netherpatch, you looked a little nervous around Mr. Goldfoyle. Didn't you say he was a good guy? He is, but knowing his reputation and how he operates, it's hard not to get a little anxious. I know this address. Wait, is it someone famous? I thought it'd be some secret hideout we have to hunt for. Well, he's pretty well known. The guy who lives here is a bit of a rogue. He only steals things that interest him just for the challenge. He does whatever he wants, hard to pin down. I've run into him a few times since he lives nearby. He's a real wild card. If he's in a good mood, he's easy to deal with. I'll take you to him. Chapter 3: Laws of the Underground. Even though Mr. Netherpatch offered to lead the way, we lingered in the market a bit longer, hoping to spot any of the robbers rumored to be mingling with the crowd to make a deal. Unfortunately, even after the time the robbers were supposed to show up had passed, we didn't see anyone who looked like they were fencing stolen goods. Looks like we'll have to track the robbers some other way. Hopefully they haven't had the chance to sell off the gem yet. You're still up and about with those injuries? I'm about to call it a day myself. Except for Ms. Antimony, who stopped to say goodbye, nobody else bothered to talk to us the whole time. With nothing to show for our efforts, we asked Mr. Netherpatch to lead us to the address Mr. Goldfoyle had given us. So this is where that thief, Shadowbind, lives? Yeah, but it looks like he's not home. This is going to be tricky. You're looking for Shadowbind? A woman's voice suddenly cut into our conversation. I was spooked a little and looked over. Standing in the shadows just out of the light was a woman bundled up from head to toe. Yes, and you are... A good quality coat with a few insects calmly perched on it. A hood pulled low, completely hiding her face. The hem of her coat was a little worn, stained with some kind of dark liquid. I'm Stinger, Shadowbind's neighbor. What's he got himself into this time? So many people coming around looking for him. So people come looking for Shadowbind a lot? Did someone call him away again? That I'm not sure. He didn't have many visitors before, but these past few weeks he's barely been home for some reason. Normally he'd be here tinkering with gunpowder. Sometimes the explosions are so loud it's impossible to get any peace. It's been quiet lately, though. Honestly, I hope it stays that way. Did you make an appointment with him? I remember he said if anyone came looking, they could just open that box. That box on the table? Isn't it kind of rude to mess with someone's stuff when they're not home? You folks are from the surface, right? Shadowbind must have really stirred things up if you've come all the way here for him. There aren't that many rules down here. If the owner isn't around, it's fair game. Even if there is an owner, well, why not? He said anyone looking for him would know what to do with the box, so I guess that message wasn't meant for you? Didn't expect his business to be this busy. Listening to Miss Stinger, I glanced around. This wasn't a typical room. The warehouse bare bones still showed through the battered metal shelves and pipes. Closed tools, even unopened bottles of chemicals were all left out in the open. Out of respect, I tried not to stare too closely at anything too personal. But as my eyes landed on the small box right in the middle of the table, I found myself unable to look away. Open safe. A safe that had been pried open, now empty, again strangely familiar. Bottles with powders and liquid. A locked safe with what looked like a clever mechanism. Something about it felt familiar. This safe, it's exactly like the ones in the Whitlow Bank vault. Aren't these custom safes not supposed to be sold to the public? That's right, and every bank safe has a special stamp in the lower left corner. This one's corner has been scraped off. You can still see the marks. That's just screaming nothing to see here, isn't it? So does that mean this box is actually... Looks like you really are the one Shadowbind was expecting. Well, I'll leave you to it. The rest is your problem. Miss Stinger didn't seem interested in our conversation. Seeing us gathered around the safe, she quietly slipped over to the rusty iron door, ready to leave. That's how most folks are around here. Keep your distance. Don't get too curious. Sometimes knowing too much just gets you in trouble. My mind was bubbling with questions. Is this the safe Shadowbind stole? Why would he just leave it out in the open? Is Shadowbind one of the robbers? If he could open the safe, why leave it behind? And what's with that inviting message? But right now, if I want answers, I guess I'll have to do as Shadowbind suggested and open the safe myself. The safe is surrounded by gears that need to be dragged into place. The center slot is where the gears should be placed. After replacing all the gears, the number of colored indicator lights will help you determine the status of each gear. Oh. Oh. Only the color is correct. Okay, so we have blue, yellow. Okay, so yellow was right. This blue was right. It's gotta be red, but the red was right there too. Ah, huh. Okay. Yellow, blue, and this blue. Okay. Yellow, blue. I'll say red was right up here too. Oh, that was closer. Weird though. So yellow and red can both go up there. Light blue can go down here. And yellow can go down here too. Yellow, red, blue? No. Man, this is actually kind of hard. Cause see, blue and yellow can go here. So what if I do this blue? Okay, I have not put blue up there. I've only done those two sides. Yellow, this blue. Okay. So I don't think this blue goes anywhere then. Yeah, this blue doesn't seem like it's gonna go anywhere. And I've tried blue here. Yellow, red. No. There's really not that much. So have I done yellow like that? Oh, yes, I did try that one. Yellow, red, blue. I think I've done this. Yes, I have. Okay, no, that's round 2. know what made me try that, but... Finally got it open. Wait, what? The lid cracked open just a sliver, and whiffs of smoke started drifting out. Before I could even react, the smoke thickened, rapidly billowing out of the safe like there was no end to it. Is this a trap, or... I immediately covered my mouth and nose, yanking Mr. Iridescence and Mr. Netherpat back to get us out of the smoke. Even though I didn't feel anything strange after breathing it in, I still wasn't about to let my guard down. Oh, ew. I didn't know he was in this. I probably got his skin, but I just didn't even think about it. Heh, didn't think you'd crack it that fast. The smoke spread in seconds, filling up most of the room. Through the swirling haze, someone spoke up with a cheerful, unfamiliar smile. You, cough, cough. Are you Mr. Shadowbind? Not bad. Nope, this smoke's way too thick. We can't talk in here. The figure grabbed something and started fanning wildly. I doubted it would help much, but luckily the smoke mechanism inside the safe seemed to have stopped. With no more smoke pouring out, the air started to clear, and soon I could make out a stranger standing there. Bandages wrapped around an arm, looked like a recent injury. A bunch of odd-looking tools, probably for picking locks. Wearing tough, ordinary clothes. And cough, cough. Man, that was rough. I can finally breathe again. My throat's killing me. Didn't you set up this trap yourself? And wait, were you just watching us open the safe? Hey, don't blame me. I just got back and happened to catch you solving the puzzle I left. How could I interrupt such a moment? Brilliant technique. You're full of surprises, new friend. That lockpicking style doesn't look like the police and definitely not a thief's usual tricks. Who are you people? I knew leaving the safe here would bring about something interesting. Wait, we actually came here for a reason. Oh, so you're here on purpose? Well, since you put on such a show, what do you want from me? Sorry to be blunt, but where did you get these safes? As the smoke cleared, I peeked into the safe, just as I guessed, nothing inside but the mechanism. Where did I get them? I made these myself. How do you like them? The lock's got both style and skill, right? Even though we just met, I could tell he was lying without a care in the world. He really wasn't taking us seriously at all. Shadowbind, this lady has something important to discuss. If you know where these safes came from, could you please tell her? Netherpatch, you're so quiet I almost didn't notice you. But even if you ask, I have no idea. These two don't get it, and you don't either? I just found it lying around. How should I know where it came from? I just couldn't resist the challenge, so I brought it back. These little boxes are trophies from my technical adventures. There was something a little too smug in Shadowbind's voice. No way he just found these things. I could tell he was lying. Maybe I could call his bluff? Oh gosh, here we go. Okay. Thorns symbolized the barriers in another's heart, longing to be cleared away. From our chat so far, it's clear Shadowbind is a pretty laid-back guy. If I can get him worked up, maybe he'll spill something, or at least slip up. He's in a good mood, but not quite there yet. I need to figure out what he really cares about, what would get him talking. Flowers on the vine reflect the emotions blossoming within another's heart. Talk about his relationship with, guide their emotions to the target value through conversation. Us? Of course we know each other. Netherpack's one of those folks who just can't help but get involved. One time I took a shortcut hoping to find some treasure but got totally lost. Almost thought I'd never get out. He's the one who found me. You seem pretty, well, let's just say you've got a healthy dose of curiosity too, right? So, you get how I feel. When a secret is right there and you know you can unlock it, that feeling is just unbeatable. Every lock carrier's, the designer's unique, carries the designer's unique touch and thought process. It's like each one is its own little riddle. The moment a lock clicks open, that's when I know I found the answer. Shadowbind lights up as he talks about the subtle differences between all the lock mechanisms. If I can break down his guard a bit more, maybe he'll spill something important. Ooh, agree, support, despise. I think we're trying to keep him in a good mood. Agree. Oh, okay, that was easy. Knew you'd be interested. It's been ages since I got to talk this much. Most folks around here just care about the end result and nothing else. The topic shifting to relationships, maybe I can use this to figure out if Mr. Shadowbind was really part of the bank heist. Ask about the friend who showed up recently. Ask what he knows about the bank vault. Ask where he usually goes treasure hunting. Ooh. I'm kind of in the mood for 1 and 3. I don't think asking him about the bank vault is going to really... I don't think he's going to like that, let's say. But where he goes treasure hunting, I think he'll like that topic. Because asking about a friend, maybe? Let's do the third one. There are tons of secrets buried under the city. If you're brave enough to explore the paths nobody else has tried, you'll always find something unexpected. As long as you don't get lost in there, that is. Okay, we'll ask about the friend. Those shady types? Not my friends, but still. Even if I'm not interested in their plans, the chance to crack a next-gen vault security system is just too tempting. Shadowbind swallows hard, realizing he said more than he should, his voice trailing off. He forces out one last line, sounding a bit defeated. It's not like we ever get to set foot in a real bank, let alone see the vaults and its locks up close. Forget it, I've already said too much. At this point, they're not even my crew anymore. No reason to cover for them. If you got questions, just ask. Shadowbind's guard is down. Now's the chance to ask. You're here about that bank case, right? Seems like it's the hot topic these days. Just so we're clear, whatever I tell you, you can't go spreading it around, and you definitely can't use it to arrest me. I didn't steal anything from there. If you're wondering, just took a couple of these safes as souvenirs. Shadowbind pats the open safe on the table for emphasis. Just the safes, nothing else. I got invited about a month ago. I'm guessing it's a group, but only one guy ever contacted me. A big guy who called himself Flint. He blocked my way and asked if I wanted to take on a supposedly unbreakable lock. I said yes right away. You get it, don't you? If I don't take the challenge, what makes me any different from those loudmouths who are all talk? But I didn't ask for payment. I told him if I succeed, all I want is the lock I open. Flint, Mr. Netherpack, do you know this guy? Nope, never heard of that alias. That knucklehead must be new. I've seen him around a few times when I was figuring out how to blow the vault. Honestly, he didn't mess up too badly, but he's got some sloppy habits and misses the details. So how'd you get that injury on your arm? Haha, accidents happen. Nothing ever goes perfectly. That day, the vault floor was tougher than I expected, so I added a bit too much explosive. The blast ended up way stronger than planned. Everyone there got hurt, not just me. Everyone? Shadowbind probably saw all the robbers at the same time. Oh, I said at the same time. At the time. But looks like this is as far as he'll go. He's avoiding mentioning the others, and I'm not pushing. At least I've got a new lead. Shadowbind says he managed to sneak a peek at Flint's face once, but was kind of let down. I thought he'd be some big shot, but I didn't recognize him at all. Dark skin, well built. Sounds a lot like that Frank Dawson guy. The mysterious buyer who purchased the shop. Frank Dawson, Flint. Could they be the same person? Do you know where he is now? All I know is one of their own meeting spots. Not sure if he's still there, but I can take you to it. That'd be awesome. Thanks. Shadowbind leads us to another room. It's clearly another converted warehouse or storage unit, but now it's totally empty. There's almost nothing left behind, super clean. Maybe it's the atmosphere as we walk together, but Shadowbind actually seems a bit fired up, like he's on our side. Weird, he cleaned up so well this time, he's getting better. No way, I'm sure I can track him down. Oh, I also snuck a look at their radio channel. You've got a radio too, right? Want to listen in? Maybe it's just a weird sense of competition. You're pretty good at covering your own tracks. Thanks, you have to stay sharp to get by around here, see? Comes in handy. Let's see, they use frequency 6.6, I think. Shadowbind quickly turns the dial and the static fades until we hear broken voices on the radio. Unknown male. Phew, is this better now? Unknown female. Don't get impatient, I'm trying to help you. Someone's after you. If you don't hide better, all your hard work these past months will be for naught. Is that what you want? No, definitely not. Then keep your stuff close. Aren't you good at running? Just leave those pursuers in the dust. Next, head south. I stashed some supplies near the station. Grab them and keep moving. The station, could that be where we first came down from the bank? Yeah, there are tons of tunnels branching out from there. It's a busy location. When they say the station, it most likely means that spot. So that means at least one of the robbers is probably nearby. If we hurry, we might be able to catch them. Are you sure that voice was Flint? Hard to say. The signal's pretty bad underground. Sounds a lot like him, though. You guys starting to ace chase? I'll sit this one out. Cardio's not really my thing. Good luck. And hey, if you catch Flint, don't mention my name, okay? Chapter ended. Chapter 4. No Escape. With Shadowbind's help, we managed to intercept the frequency the thieves were using to communicate. We also spotted someone who might be Flint making a move. Eager to catch up and recover the stolen gem Aurora, we said our goodbyes to Shadowbind and rushed off to the station mentioned in the transmission. We finally made it back. Why do we all look so out of breath? I'm really not cut out for physical activity. Same here, just a desk job for me. If Flint really is Frank Dawson and a former athlete, he's definitely got us beat when it comes to stamina. You just fought a dude. Come on, let's not sell ourselves short. By the way, Mr. Iridescence, you're a desk worker too, so why did you insist on staying behind to cover us? I just had some self-defense tools on me. Given the situation, I was the best fit for the job. That's true. I remember Mr. Iridescence pulling some kind of vial out of a case while fending off the attackers. Not that it matters now. What's important is following up on the intel from the radio and catching up to that person who might be Flint. I was scanning the area trying to pick a direction when suddenly an unexpected figure stepped into view. Mr. Goldfoil, what are you doing here? Me? I've got a deal to discuss face to face. But what happened to you three? You look like you've been through hell. Oh, we're just chasing someone. I see. Sounds like you've made progress in your investigation. You all seem to be in a hurry, so I won't hold you up. Good luck with your case. In the narrow tunnel, Mr. Goldfoil stepped aside to let us pass. Alright, we'll get going. Hope your deal goes well too. But just as we brushed past Mr. Goldfoil, I caught a barely audible whisper from him. Be careful who you trust. What? I instinctively turned around, but Mr. Goldfoil didn't even slow down. He disappeared into the shadows. Something wrong, Lady Truth? No, it's nothing. Let's keep moving. There's no one else at the station now. Looks like Mr. Flint, let's call him that for now, already moved on before we got here. Faint sounds come from the radio. Unknown female, don't stick around here. You got the supplies, right? Too many eyes. Head for the abandoned area. Got them! There's so much stuff. You really are thorough. This is just basic logistic. logistics work. Keep moving. I packed painkillers in this batch. Patch yourself up if you need to. There's still a long way to go, so don't let it slow you down. Don't worry, I've never lost a stamina contest. The channel's still buzzing, and we're standing at a fork in the road. Which way should we go? Oh. I don't know if that was a good choice. Deserted warehouse. I push open a rusty metal door. My flashlight cuts through the floating dust, revealing piles of wooden crates inside. Some are so rotten you can see straight through them. The floor is covered in dust and crisscrossed with messy footprints. Hard to tell how old they are, but clearly people still come here even after the warehouse was abandoned. There are some scattered gold coins here. They look brand new. That's odd. This place should have been picked clean ages ago. There shouldn't be anything left. Let me see. There's no dust on these coins, and the footprints around them are sharp and fresh. Maybe someone left them here on purpose. Ooh. Well, frick. There's no use going to the black market. Alleyways are ruins. I feel like we should go to the one that's furthest. Maybe we took a wrong turn. We ended up in an unfinished area, bare buildings and tunnels in their rawest, roughest state. Piles of rubble lined the narrow passage like the work could start up again any time. It was pitch dark. Our only light came from our flashlights. The air was thick and dusty and I couldn't help coughing a few times. I stumbled over some loose stones at the side. I didn't fall, but my foot scattered some rocks, revealing something buried underneath. Huh? Looks like there's something here. I bent down for a closer look. Under the rocks was a battered, dog-eared notebook. It was covered in dust, must have been here ages. I flipped through it quickly, but there wasn't anything valuable, not that I expected it. If it was worth something, someone would have taken it by now. It looked like a vocabulary book. The yellow pages were filled with two kinds of handwriting, one elegant, one clumsy. There were even some charcoal doodles in the margins. It was mostly words about industrial machines and how to operate them. On the last page, under the word city, there were two totally different sketches. One on the left, a dark, smudgy underground done in charcoal. On the right, a bright red sun painted high above. Constructed. So why are we going to the black market? Faint sounds come from the radio. These damn metal lumps are killing my feet. Keep going left. Take the smallest door and turn on the machine. How do I turn it on? What does it do? There should be a control panel in front of you. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Alright. The room was dead silent under the dust. Hundreds of folders sat quietly on the shelves. I couldn't resist reaching for one, curious about the stories buried down here, but as my fingers touched it, I realized it was trembling. It wasn't the folder, it was the whole shelf shaking. The pipes in the room were vibrating too, as if something far away was rumbling and we were feeling the aftershocks. Mr. Netherpat, Mr. Iridescence, do you guys hear that rumbling? Sounds a bit like machinery. Or rushing water. There's an old pump station nearby. It used to bring up water from the underground river, but it's been out of use for ages. Maybe that's what just got turned on? Are we gonna get flooded? Probably not. There's a working underground river channel here, and it was reinforced when the sewers started draining this way. But if the water rises, that stretch could get tough to cross. So the sewers drain here too? I pictured us wading or maybe swimming across that river and shivered. Was it that woman giving the orders? They're both careful and reckless at the same time. Let's move, hurry! Right. Oh, frick. There's a drainage thing. Drainage passage, pump station. I know we were talking about the pump station, but God, why is there... We'll go to the drainage. Faint sounds from the radio again. Are we there yet? Tired? Guess I've been slacking off lately. Just a short run and I'm wiped out. Hang in there. You've lost the tails. The hideout is just ahead. Weird. Did they know we were following them? If so, they know we're not that far behind. If not, why say that? The sound of water kept getting louder. When we reached the shore, a rushing river blocked our way. That current's too strong. It's dangerous to just wade across. Is there a bridge nearby? There is, but it's a bit of a detour, and the bridge is just something the locals threw together. If the water rises, it might get washed out. That's probably what they're counting on. Lady Truth, you decide which way we go. Oh my god. Man, I feel like we have to go through the water, right? I mean, it sucks, but if they are actually counting on us to go through the bridge, we might lose them. Because that is right, like, you would want to try and make someone go the longer way around. So I feel like we should go through. Let's go. Don't worry about me. I learned to swim from Officer Jose. I'll go first, at least to check the depth. Plus, I still remember the old water channels here. I'll bring up the rear. Mr. Netherpack slowly waded in, only turning back to wave once he was halfway across. The current's not too bad. He made it across and I got ready to follow. Sticking to his path, I felt pretty steady, but just as I neared the other side, the water suddenly surged, making me lose my balance. Careful! Lady Truth! Good thing I was almost there. Just as I struggled to steady myself, Mr. Netherpat rushed over and grabbed my hand. With his help, I made it safely to shore. Only then did I remember Mr. Iridescent's worried voice. I could really feel how genuinely concerned he was. Funny thing is, I haven't known Mr. Iridescent for long, and he's not exactly the emotional type. So why was he so on edge? I know even if I asked, he wouldn't answer. This client of ours sure has a lot of secrets. We lost a lot of time. We need to pick up the pace. Oh. So I hope I kind of went the right way then. Oh. Faint sounds. Flint? What is it? It's just been a while since you said anything. I wanted to check if you're okay. I'm fine, just tired. I made it to the hideout. Let me catch my breath and I'll update you. Take care, get some rest. I turned the radio down. Not far away, I heard a voice just like the one on the radio. Sounds like we've caught up with him. Be careful, he might fight back. Ooh. We crept forward quietly and slipped into another place converted from an old warehouse. Right away, I spotted a man dozing off in the shadows. Did he not connect us to those chasing him, or did he just underestimate how fast we get here? Flint didn't seem especially nervous. If anything, he looked sleepy. Are you Flint, or should I call you Frank Dawson? Who are you? What do you want? Flint shot up from the ground, suddenly wide awake. We'd already blocked the only exit. I remembered Flint was injured, which probably helped Mr. Iridescence and Mr. Netherpat pin him down before he could break free. Realizing he wasn't getting away, he switched gears and started trying to bargain. With the tension easing a bit, I took a moment to look around. Desktop, a pile of gems just left lying around. They look high quality, mostly red, green, and blue. There's also an empty medicine vial nearby. It's a trap. What do you want? Like I said, Mr. Flint, I'm a detective. I was hired to recover the gems stolen from the bank. My eyes landed on the most dazzling spot in the room. Even in the dim light, those sparkling, colorful stones were impossible to miss. Mr. Iridescence, want to take a want to take a look yourself? Maybe your family's missing gem is here. Hey, what are you doing? I collected all these myself. Mr. Iridescence ignored Flint's protest, walked over, and carefully inspected the table. After a while, he shook his head at me. Mr. Iridescence was thorough. He even flipped through the stack of papers by the table. Aurora isn't here, but do you really want to deny where these gems came from? We may not have found Aurora, but a few of these gems are definitely listed in the Whitlow Bank's collection. I traded for them at the market. How others got them is none of my business. Come on, Mr. Flint, nobody's buying that story. He's lying, but it really does look like Aurora isn't here. Maybe one of his partners took it. The rest haven't been sold, and Aurora isn't particularly special except for its added value. It probably hasn't been pawned off yet. We need to track down Flint's accomplices. Still, getting back some of the loot is a win. I stepped closer for a look. These gems on the table came in all colors, and teardrop cuts were pretty common. Most of the teardrop-shaped ones were sapphires. The rubies were mostly oval or heart-shaped, and just one in a teardrop cut. And as for the emeralds, the ones that looked closest to Aurora was actually oval-shaped, not a teardrop. Could someone have recut the gems in just a week? I don't know much about gem cutting. Maybe we could ask Goldfoil. I think his team offers that service. The manager's list of stolen items was pretty vague. Most of the gems didn't have detailed descriptions. We should check in with her and see if an oval emerald went missing from the vault. Hey, you're just going to walk off with my gems? Thieves! Hey now, I'm just returning stolen property to its rightful owner. I don't care what you call them. These are my hard-earned treasures. You can't just take them. Flint's voice suddenly shot up, and he sounded genuinely upset. This was the real him. His earlier story about the gems was a terrible lie, but his attachment to them now was totally real. These gems, are they really that important to you? Flint wobbled to his feet and snagged the bag of gems. He clutched the bag so tightly that his knuckles turned white, as if it held more than just stones but his lifeline. Oh, now we're actually a sports headband, a little frayed at the edges, but still worn proudly. The patched up tracksuit, but overall pretty clean. Only the spot where the number used to be is torn up. He didn't look rich, but he didn't seem desperate for cash either. Of course they're important. The crackle of a radio interrupted him. Flint's radio was going off, and so was mine. Realizing we caught him because of the radio, Flint shot us a furious glare. Mr. Iridescence pulled out a vial and waved it in front of Flint. Drink this, then tell your partner everything's fine and you need to rest for a bit. With that tone and that look, you'd think he was holding poison. I remember Mr. Iridescence saying earlier that this was just a homemade nutrient drink. He said it was for staying alert at work, but now he's passing it off as poison? I trust Mr. Iridescence. He wouldn't give Flint anything dangerous. But from Flint's point of view, it probably looks like a deadly poison. Flint started to resist, but Mr. Iridescence suddenly drew a dagger and pressed it to his throat. Okay, mister, I work at a desk. Not keen on drinking it. Want to try another way? I held my breath, watching Mr. Iridescence's cold expression, trying not to show how shocked I was. Can't let Flint catch on, or Mr. Iridescence's act will be ruined. I yanked Netherpat into a corner to whisper my surprise. Flint was so focused on Iridescence and the blade, he didn't notice us at all. You don't think Iridescence would actually hurt him, do you? I'm not sure, Lady Truth, but honestly, Mr. Iridescence does seem pretty dangerous. You think so too, Netherpact? For now, Mr. Iridescence is acting a little intense, but it makes sense since he's desperate to get the gem back. I'm still keeping a close eye on him, though, in case he really does cross the line. While we talked, Flint grimaced but finally forced himself to swallow the drink. He stared at Mr. Iridescence, clearly annoyed, but kept his cool as he replied to his partner on the radio. Unknown female, how are you holding up? I'm fine, just a little tired. Flint chatted briefly with his partner, then ended the call. His partner didn't seem to notice how tired he sounded. She just reminded him to take his medicine. She seemed careful and attentive. Good thing she didn't pick up on anything strange. Since Aurora isn't here, should we go after Flint's accomplices next? I'm guessing Mr. Iridescence was thinking the same thing because he started questioning Flint. Or maybe interrogating is a better word. Mr. Iridescence went all in trying to get him to reveal where the other thieves were hiding. Humph, so this is what you call justice in detective work? A thief talking about justice? Now that's a surprise. You have broken the law yourself. Weren't you ready to face the darkness and chaos that come with it? Even if I turn into a scoundrel, I won't stoop to dirty tricks. Don't think you can keep pushing me around just because I played along for a bit. Is that so? You sure have some unnecessary principles. Well then, let's make a choice. Either tell me where your partner is now, or die alone in some forgotten corner, completely worthless. Wait. Mr. Iridescence's way of questioning is starting to sound more and more dangerous. You want me to betray my partner? Even if I'm down in the sewers, there are lines I won't cross. No, hold on a second. Oh, I like to see just how firm your resolve really is. Wait, let's all just stop for a moment. Jesus, I'm making up my own words. My interruption finally forced Mr. Iridescence and Flint to pause their escalating standoff. Mr. Flint, I'm just a detective hired to look into a theft. Mr. Iridescence is my client. He's anxious to get his property back, so maybe his words came out a bit harsh. If you really did just buy these gems by chance at the market, then I sincerely apologize for any offense today. Whether it's transactions, records, or witness statements, whenever something happens, there are always clues left behind. I'm sure there will be plenty of evidence to prove your innocence if you really are innocent. Mr. Flint, I know you and your partner have a strong bond. Shh, I don't have any partners here. The person you're asking about is just someone I worked with once, that's all. But still, I get it. You don't just throw your crew under the bus, even if you're only working together once. Mr. Flint seems unusually attached to the idea of teamwork and loyalty. What happened in his past? Did he have a falling out with his crew, and did something else shape his attitude now? Mr. Flint is clearly a man of principle, so you should be able to understand that others have their own duties and codes too. I have my own principles and sense of justice. I'll solve this mystery and tell my client the whole truth. If you can figure it out, then you deserve it. Then I won't hold back. Like I said, if something happens, it will always leave a trace. Just from listening to your conversation with your partner earlier, I've already got a pretty clear picture of who she is. First, unless you're pretending even around your own teammates, it's obvious your partner is a woman. She knows the underground routes like the back of her hand, definitely not a newcomer. She mapped out your path and even stashed supplies for you in hidden spots. That says she's careful, sharp, and maybe a bit controlling. And most importantly, she included something in your supplies that regular folks can't get their hands on. Medicine. Legitimate medical supplies are rare down here, tightly controlled, and only a few doctors or organizations have access. And wouldn't you know it, we met a doctor at the market who's supposed to be famous in the underground. Funny enough, she's the one who told me how rare medicine is down here. Well, what are you talking about? What does she have to do with me? Can't I just have bought the stuff from Antimony myself? I never said it was impossible. Maybe you and your crew bought the medicine from Miss Antimony. Even if that's the case, I could just ask her, and if she remembers who bought it, and ask her if she remembers who bought it, right? Seeing Flint's reaction, I was only trying to bluff, but now I'm seriously suspicious of Antimony. He's right. His partner could have bought the medicine from her, but there's another possibility. Maybe Antimony is his partner. She can get medicine, knows the underground, and is based at the market, perfect for passing along information. Flint is still glaring at me, clearly determined not to let anything slip. But if his partner really is Antimony and she's seen us, will she believe the lie Flint just told? Chapter 5, Veil of Deceit. In the end, we set off to look for Miss Antimony, dragging a very reluctant Mr. Flint along with us, but except for Mr. Flint, none of us really knew where she usually hung out. We retraced our steps back to the market, planning to ask someone for directions. Just as I was looking around, I spotted the one person who'd probably know where she was. You're still here? I thought you rarely showed up in the market. With all the attention on the underground after the recent bank heist, I figured it's best if I personally greet the newcomers, less chance for mistake. So maybe I can help you out. We're actually hoping to find Miss Antimony. Do you know where she went? She mentioned she was done for the day. She's probably back at her clinic. Unless she has some special patients waiting, she usually heads there after finishing up here. As she always says, you can't put off sterilizing. Is that because she's a doctor? Miss Antimony seems really serious about hygiene. But honestly, if it's about dust, I think as long as we're underground, there's no way to avoid it. It's just part of being down here. Mr. Goldfoil keeps the market pretty spotless as it is. That's just her personal quirk. I don't pry. If you're curious, you can ask her yourself. Mr. Goldfoil pointed us to Miss Antimony's clinic. After saying goodbye, we headed into a maze of tunnels, passing a few familiar-looking junctions, and finally found Miss Antimony. So, this is why you and Netherpack came looking for me? Where's that Mr. Flint and the other guy who was with you? Yes, we found Mr. Flint, who's a suspect, but he didn't have the missing gem on him. So we're following up on his leads to find his accomplice. As for Mr. Iridescence and Mr. Flint, they said they needed to talk privately for a bit, but they'll be here soon. And you're not suspicious about that? Oh. You got me! I just told a little lie. Mr. Iridescence was worried Flint might shout a warning if Miss Antimony turned out to be his accomplice. Just to be safe, Mr. Iridescence has Mr. Netherpat and me go in first to check things out while he and Mr. Flint stay back and join us later. Speaking of which, Mr. Iridescence and Mr. Flint will be alone together. I hope they don't end up arguing. We've already told you how we met Mr. Flint. Do you know him, Miss Antimony? Or perhaps remember anyone who bought this medicine from you recently? Sorry, I really don't recall. Antimony kept working as she spoke, gloved hands calmly sorting files with her left, putting medicine bottles away with her right. She expertly tossed a blood-stained gauze into the trash and, unfazed, picked up the next file. There sure are a lot of files here. I'm not sure if she meant to, but I could see the whole file without any trouble. The notes were so detailed, almost too much for a patient's record. It felt more like an investigation report than a medical file. Oh, that's not my doing. Thank Mr. Goldfoil for these. He provided the info. The guard at the marketplace recommended Miss Antimony without hesitation. Maybe that's because she works with Mr. Goldfoil? I was about to ask more, but suddenly realized what felt off about Miss Antimony's actions. In the market, she was careful, almost obsessive about cleanliness, never touching anything dirty. But now, she's handling files with bloody gloves, even though folders are getting grimy. Miss Antimony, your gloves are a bit dirty. Don't you want to change them? No, it's fine. I'll change them in a bit. But your face says otherwise. When I pointed it out, she instantly tugged at her gloves. You notice the stains, right? Why not just change them? Are you out of spares, or is it awkward to take them off in front of us? I glanced around. It didn't look like she was short on supplies. Big machine connected to all sorts of pipes, very intricate. Lots of smooth metal cylinders. I had no clue what they were for. The clinic, converted from a storage room, was packed with medical equipment and supplies, all neatly organized and well stocked. Simply slipped my mind. Thanks for the reminder. She changed her gloves, moving quickly and using the equipment nearby to hide her hands as much as she could. But I saw it. She couldn't completely hide her hands for a second. Miss Antimony had a fresh, slanted cut across the back of her right hand, and it hadn't even scabbed over yet. Miss Antimony, you're still working and treating patients with your hand hurt. It's nothing, just a scrape from falling and hitting some rocks. Really? That's odd. Most people instantly catch themselves on their palms when they fall. Why is your cut on the back of your hand? Why are you so hung up on the little cut? It's almost healed. Because it looks more like a scratch from something sharp. I'm just curious, did you get it in the bank vault? Before I could finish, Mr. Iridescence entered, supporting and limping Mr. Flint, breaking the tension. He just passed out. Mr. Flint's eyes were shut tight, his brow furrowed. Even unconscious, he looked like he was in pain. Mr. Iridescence shot a questioning look at Miss Antimony. For a split second, I wondered, did Mr. Iridescence do something to him? These symptoms, it looks like poisoning. Did he eat anything before he passed out? I think only... Mr. Netherpack glanced at Mr. Iridescence, hesitant to say more, but I understand what he's hinting. The last thing Flint drank was the nutrient drink Mr. Iridescence gave him. After we met him, he only had a sip of the nutrient drink. I can guarantee it wasn't poisoned. Maybe he ate something bad before that. As expected, Mr. Iridescence just said it outright. I'm more familiar with him now, but he still seems to be holding something back, even if he's keeping a straight face. There's more than one way to get poisoned. If there's a fresh wound, toxins can enter that way too. I found a newly bandaged cut on his arm. It's pretty swollen. You think he used the wrong medicine? It happens. People make careless mistakes. But I don't have the right equipment here to run tests. I can only do basics first aid. Are you friends with him? If you can, get him to a doctor on the surface, or maybe a priest. Miss Antimony, you really don't know this man? She didn't even pause in her work when I asked. She smiled, but I could tell she felt nothing inside. Nope. Do you really think a big guy like him would have anything to do with me? I just contacted the bank manager. The Yulio family doctors are on their way to the bank. He can start treatment as soon as you're back on the surface. When Mr. Iridescent mentioned the Yulio family, Miss Antimony shot him a quick look. Didn't expect you guys to have such connections. Let's not waste time. I'll help you get him up there. He's not in any shape to be moved carelessly. You're so dedicated to a stranger, Miss Antimony. You're a really kind doctor. Of course. As you can see, I always care about my patients. Wouldn't you want me on your team? We love that. Thanks so much, Miss Antimony. I still couldn't shake my doubts about her, but maybe traveling together will give me more clues. We set off together but hadn't gone far when the ground started to rumble with a deep, low noise. I'd hear it a few times recently, but never this close. I heard it. Whatever. I used to think it was the sound of an underground river, but now I realize it had a metallic ring to it. What's that noise? That's the underground postal system at work. It makes this sound whenever it's running. You didn't know? I just sent a package myself. It's kind of a local specialty. All these pipes are part of a working pneumatic delivery system. Compressed air sends packages flying through the tubes in seconds. Super fast and almost impossible to intercept, isn't it? Miss Antimony seemed genuinely happy talking about it. She must really like this system. No time to dwell on her hobbies, though. Right now, Flint's health is what matters. We made our way back to the vault entrance. I watched Miss Antimony closely, but she didn't seem surprised at all. The bank manager and the Yulio family doctors were already waiting inside the vault. As soon as we arrived, the doctors swarmed around the unconscious Mr. Flint while I went to see the manager. I still had all the gems we found near Flint. Now was the perfect time to return them. I quickly handed over the precious stones. So many. Lady Truth, you're an outstanding detective. These are definitely the gems we lost. Not all of them, but getting any back is fortunate. So I was right. Mr. Flint really is... Oh wait, he's awake. The Leo family doctors are amazing. Ugh, my head. Where am I? We're back on the surface, Mr. Flint. Look around. Does anything look familiar? You passed out, so we brought you here for a treatment. Passed out? No, it was that iridescent guy. He poisoned me. Actually, the stuff Mr. Iridescence gave you wasn't poisoned. It was just a misunderstanding. No way, it was definitely poisoned. After you left, when I said I was thirsty, he gave me something else that was poisoned. I looked at Mr. Iridescence in shock. He shook his head slowly but firmly. I handed you a bottle of water. Then the water was poisoned. That water was on you when we searched you. I didn't touch it. If there's a problem, it happened before I got it. Don't be ridiculous. I found that supply myself. Why would I poison my own stuff and not admit it? The Yulio family doctors must be really good. Mr. Flint just regained consciousness, but he's already shouting at Mr. Iridescence. Hang on, you two. I don't think Mr. Flint would poison his own supplies. And if Mr. Iridescence wanted to poison someone, he'd be more subtle about it. Right now, all the suspicion falls on him. Motives aside, does it really make sense for him to do something so conspicuous? Maybe he just messed up in the head. Some people are just like that. Great, looks like Flint is starting to calm down a bit. Mr. Flint, have you considered that maybe the water was tampered with by someone else? How could that be possible? Neither of us touched it. Are you saying the water was poisoned from the start? Of course the water wasn't poisoned to begin with, but besides the two of you, wasn't there someone else who handled it? Handled it? I watched as Mr. Flint's face slowly turned to shock. You mean, no, that's impossible. He's still denying it, but I can see he's starting to doubt himself. Maybe now I can finally help him figure things out. Chapter 6, Breaking Light. Wow, this is a... To get Flint to open up and share clues about who he trusts as an ally, I need to find the right approach. Oh, here we go again. Flint is really guarded. He sticks to his own principles and believes in his crew, even if they're just temporary partners. If I want him to talk, maybe the only way is to make him realize his so-called partner doesn't trust him back. Drop hints. What are you getting at? Stop beating around the bush. Looks like I'll need to be even more straightforward to get through Flint. First off, you know as well as I do that the only people who could have tampered with that water are the ones who prepared it or had it in their hands. Couldn't it have just been some random passerby slipping something in? I mean, technically it's possible. But in a place like this, where everyone values resources so much, anything left unattended would get snatched up in no time. So really, the only people who had both the chance and the motives are... your partner. It could only have been your partner. No, no way. She even helped me find a hideout. And she's the one who pointed you toward these supplies, isn't she? Those questions she asked later on, I say she was just checking in to make sure you were still okay. And to make sure you actually ate the stuff she spiked. She was just worried about her partner. Flint is wavering. It might sound harsh, but I need him to face the truth. Her concern for you wasn't real. And the most obvious proof is... I want to say she hasn't contacted you in ages, but... Because she messaged... I mean, she couldn't have... I mean, I guess in a way, because while they were carrying him back, she could have contacted them while he was pretty much like almost passed out or passed out. Mr. Flint, haven't you noticed? Your caring partner hasn't reached out in a long time. You two used to talk a lot before we found you, right? That's just because I said I needed to rest. But it's been way longer than just a quick rest, and the partner who used to be so concerned hasn't said a word. Is it because she knew you'd pass out soon, or because she's right here with us and can't or won't contact you, or maybe both? Auntie. Flint instantly glances at Antimony. I catch it right away. So the mysterious partner of yours really is Miss Antimony, isn't it? And what if it is? Oh, pretty! Watch your opponent's heartbeat closely. Changes indicate they are lying. She probably expected this. Didn't want to blow... Oh, it just sped up. And didn't want to blow her cover and trusted I'd be able to handle things. That's why she didn't contact me in front of you. Antimony and I know each other. That's all. I got her and wanted her help. Is that a crime? You're still not telling the truth, Mr. Flint. The simplest point is... this one. I got her and wanted her help. Is that a crime? You know her. That's not the issue here. Oh. Frick. Damn. It's true Antimony gave you the medicine, but you bandaged the wound yourself, didn't you? We were all on the channel at the same time. We heard everything. Even without hearing, anyone can tell the difference between a pro's bandaging and an amateur's. Miss Antimony is right here, and there are other doctors around. Want them to show you the difference? No, that won't be necessary. I did the bandaging myself, and I used the medicine Antimony gave me. Mr. Flint seems unsettled. To get more out of him, I'll need to break his trust in Miss Antimony. Can a crew thrown together at the last minute really have that kind of deep trust? I don't think Flint knows Antimony that well. He just seems stubbornly convinced that partners would never and should never betray each other. But Antimony's actions clearly show she doesn't see him as a real partner. I need to lay out enough evidence to make Flint see that. I can't help but feel a bit bad for exposing the truth. There's only one thing that really proves Antimony never cared about Flint at all. Talk about the poisoning. Mr. Flint, we all know Miss Antimony was the one who showed you your escape route. She could make sure you got to the right place, but she couldn't know which stash you'd pick up or when you'd use it. If she really wanted this to happen, she wouldn't leave it up to chance. She'd prepare every single stash she told you about. Okay, write that. I'm guessing you just grabbed one at random, am I right? Yes, Antimony, is that true? Both Flint and I look over at Antimony, who's been quietly listening. No, Flint, I never wanted to hurt you. Even with what Miss Antimony said, the evidence in everyone's behavior make it pretty obvious who planned the bank heist, and that same person went after Mr. Flint too. Oh. I guess this kind of revealed it because she's like hiding in that corner. And I always thought that was strange when I first saw it because I was like, she is like so mysterious, you know, like she's being so mysterious. Right. Confirm. The mastermind is... Still won't admit it. You didn't expect us to find Flint so quickly, did you? I kept notes of all the stash locations you gave Flint over the radio. Since Miss Antimony's been with us the whole time since Mr. Flint passed out, she couldn't have gone back to get rid of any evidence. Want to come with me, Miss Antimony? We can search the stashes and test what's inside. No, that won't be necessary. You're awfully confident in your theory. Of course, I'm a detective, and you're the one who masterminded this whole heist, aren't you? I wouldn't say that. I just gave a few suggestions. So what suggestions did you give about where to hide Aurora? Aurora? You mean the Yulio family jewel? Ha, so that's what you're after. I didn't keep it for myself. Why not ask Flint? He's the one who's always after money. He's always going on about making money, saving up, and getting back into the field. Such a noble goal. That's why we gave him most of the valuables and anything easy to sell. All the gems are with him. He said? Sorry, I started thinking back to what Goldfoil said. My suspicions fall on him just because usually the S tier, like I said, the S tier is usually like one of the culprits in a way when it comes to these kind of stories. He's the only one I can think of just because he's one of the ones who hasn't been seen a lot, you know, so he could have easily been given that gem from, especially from Flint. But I also feel like he knows something, probably knows something about iridescence, so I think he's trying to like warn us about him, but also kind of warned us about like himself. But if he is a good guy and that warning is true, then my other suspicions has to be Gravekeeper's character, Nether Pact. Alright, let's see what happens then. What? The gems I got, they're all right here. You never know, people down here love to squirrel things away. Maybe he stashed the best ones somewhere only he knows. Hey, I'm not lying. I believe you, Mr. Flint. Thank you. You know I wouldn't lie about something like this. Well, that's not entirely true. I just thought of another possibility. Aurora isn't the flashiest gem, so it probably wasn't hidden or disguised. If all the gems are here and we didn't find it before, maybe the gem itself has changed somehow. I remember reading something about this in the Aesop library. Oh, if a gem has certain elements inside, it can look totally different under different lights. If that's the case, then the info I got from Mr. Iridescence was missing something important. Miss Manager, can you show me those gems we found earlier? Sure. They're in these boxes, Lady Truth. Which one are you looking for? If Aurora is here, it should be... It's a teardrop shape, right? So it's either the blue or the red. It's gotta be the red, right? Sapphires are normally the teardrop shape. But rubies? Like she said, they're usually an oval or a heart-shaped. I pick up a teardrop-shaped ruby. Just turning it a bit, the faucets catch the light and it shines with amazing colors. The red is so intense it looks like a burning flame or a drop of frozen blood. No wonder the Yulio family treasured it so much. It's like a beating heart. But its real nature means it changes with the environment. I step over to the only window where sunlight comes in. Oh, we're going up. Nope, you can do it. Go up. Haha! In the sun, the gem glows even brighter, but now it's a deep, vivid green. Just like the ever-changing emotions. Mr. Iridescence, is this the missing Aurora? Emerald by day, ruby by night. That's what they call an extraordinary gem like this. It's got special elements inside, so it looks different under the different lights. So, Mr. Iridescence, does this mean I finished the job? I'm impressed, Lady Truth. Heh, of course. I'm a seasoned detective after all. Congratulations! So we can call the police now? There's still some stuff missing. As we agreed with the Yulio family, we won't report anything stored in 423. Anything else that's missing will be reported to the insurance company if we can't recover it. Mr. Flint seems resigned, while Miss Antimoni's looks calm and collected. Please, call the police. Miss Manager here will need to have a long talk with them. You'll have to explain how you used your position to help the robbers. Lady Truth, you can't just throw around accusations like that without proof. You know whether it's a joke or not better than I do, Miss Manager. The crew knew the bank's layout inside and out and dug right to the vault's center. To pull that off, you'd either have to scout the place over and over or have someone on the inside. Miss Antimony and Mr. Flint don't know their way around this bank, and neither does the demolition guy, Mr. Shadowbind. So there must be an accomplice who gave them that inside help. With so many employees in the bank, why are you pointing the finger at me? You told me yourself, remember? You said the first person to find the ransacked vault was the first one in that morning. After the initial shock, they didn't mess with the scene but wanted to call the police. Wasn't it you who opened the vault first? As the bank manager, I'm the only one with the vault key. By the rules, I have to open it every day. Discovering the crime scene wasn't exactly something I could control, and I had 2 security guards with me at the same time. At the time, not the same time. Of course, just being at the scene doesn't make you guilty. But you said you immediately secured the area when you realized something was amiss, and the vault looks exactly as it did then. The explosives were mixed wrong that night. The blast was so strong it even injured the robbers. That explains all the blood. We're literally standing inside the evidence right now. This doesn't seem to be the... Oh. There we go. But how could a vault that was just blown open and ransacked look this neat and tidy? Don't tell me the robbers came back after hearing the sirens just to clean up. Well, I essentially never came back. I believe you, Mr. Flint. You, Miss Antimony, and even Mr. Shadowbind, none of you returned here. If none of them came back, that just leaves you. You're the only one with the vault key. You cleaned up most of the mess the robbers left behind. With that key, you could sneak in before anyone else arrived and tidy up, or rather, cover things up. That does make sense, but you can't explain my motive. I'm the manager. The whole bank was under my control. But wasn't that the problem? You were in charge of everything before this happened, right? Something at the bank must have put the manager on edge recently. 5 days later, auditors from Whitlow Bank headquarters will conduct an audit. Each morning before opening, the managers unlock the vault, and she only has the vault was left untouched and remains. So it has to be this one. The manager clearly abused her position for some shady dealings. Those should have shown up in the books, but she probably faked those too. But now with the auditors coming, she's afraid her lies will unravel. You were worried the upcoming audit would expose your lies, so you came up with a brilliant plan. All you needed was a robbery, a group of thieves to blame for everything missing from the vault. They took so much, the vault was almost emptied out. It's the perfect excuse for anything else that's gone missing. Some of the money was recovered, but some is still missing. Easy to say the robbers hid it somewhere. It all sounds plausible, just an unfortunate accident. You could even claim insurance for it. Do you really have to spell everything out like that, like this? Absolutely. Facing the truth is what a detective does. Huh, is that so? If I'd known. Lies always come out in the end. You never should have started down this path. The manager slumped, defeated. Looks like you've already decided who the police should take away. Oh no, that's not for me to say. The police will make their own decision. But putting together the evidence and handing over the real suspects, that's what a good detective does. I can't help but cheer for myself a little. Another case wrapped up perfectly. I thought Mr. Iridescence would call the police right away, but he didn't. He just stayed quiet. After a moment, Miss Antimony spoke up first. Let the police decide, huh? Flint, want to make a deal? You're still trying to bargain with me? I never should have trusted you when you first showed up. What are you talking about? When I came to you, it was always about a deal. You were the one who wanted to treat a temporary partner like a friend. If you never saw me as a friend, why did you come to me at all? To make a deal, of course. Have you thought about how long you get if you're convicted as the mastermind? It'll be a long sentence, long enough to ruin your athletic prime. Forget the criminal record for a second. Have you thought about how you might never compete again, even after you get out? You! I stay silent, but Antimony's got a point. Sometimes a single mistake can change your life way more than you expect. Even if you're sorry, I can't undo what you did. Sal was totally wrong. Luckily, Goldfoil is a good guy. But he still told us to be careful of who to trust. I mean, we technically know that iridescence is Gato. And we know that, in a way, Gato is working with DM, and DM is not a very good guy. So there's something going on, and I wonder if Gato asked Truth. He probably wanted Inference, but got Truth instead. So he wasn't expecting that, I guess, in a way, and I think that's why he was more worried about Truth, because I guess in a way she's a little more innocent, and he knew that and didn't want her to get hurt, pretty much. Something like that. That's just my thoughts. Alright. Even if you're sorry, I can't undo what you did. I know. I'll take responsibility, even if I never run again. I brought this on myself. No need to sound so doomed. That's where my deal comes in. I know Lady Truth will tell the police everything, but there's always room for flexibility in the rules. Shadowbind Blue opened the vault, you did the robbing, and I just handled logistics. As for your poisoning, that was just an accident. Can you live with that story? And in exchange, I'll give you a clean sum of money, enough to support yourself and compete for the next 5 years, no questions asked. Hey, that's outrageous. Are you really plotting to fake evidence right in front of me? I'll tell the police everything you just said, word for word. Don't be so harsh, Lady Truth. I only played a tiny part in the heist. Now I'm just trying to do what I can to make things right with Flint. To show I mean it, I'll even cover the cost of the best lawyers for Flint. I'll even help track down the missing assets. So what do you say, Flint and Miss Manager? I can tell both Flint and the manager are tempted, which just makes me even more frustrated. But I can't exactly stop them from talking. There are better ways to make things right. With all this evidence, the police won't buy your story. How the hell is she gonna have money? How the hell or not if she's gonna have money. How the hell does she have money if she's gonna be telling Flint that? So why is she working in the underground if she has a lot of money, pretty much? So there's more to this than, of course we're being, told and led on and all that good stuff. I appreciate your determination, Lady Truth, but sometimes people don't want the real truth. But there's nothing wrong with chasing after it anyway. At the very least, I'm grateful to you, Lady Truth. You're an outstanding detective. You got Aurora back. You did your job perfectly. Wait a second. Something's off with Mr. Iridescence. His tone, his mood. Shouldn't he be happy we got the gem back? But there's almost no joy in his voice. I thought we'd grown close these past few days. But now, standing right here, he suddenly feels distant and unfamiliar. Oh. I'll handle the rest and make sure things are dealt with fairly. I realize now these past few days really did matter. They've changed things. They're telling me he's lying. Mr. Iridescence is still keeping plenty of secrets. Almost everything he's saying right now is a lie. Oh! That was it? Chapter ended. Well, I guess that's it for now. It said chapter end, but it didn't say story end. So I can't remember if that's how it usually does. I mean, we did get 100%, so I'm assuming that's it. I don't know if there's multiple endings, or if this is how it goes. I don't know if things would have been different depending on what way we went. Because I just took like the long way around, and I probably could have cut through like the alley. I thought it would be weird to go back to the black market, but I think we finished it. If anything, if there is more, it'd probably just be an epilogue, you know, just to Lady Truth heading back to the agency, or we see a little bit of the end before she goes back to the agency, and maybe we'll see Inference there, you know, maybe he came back from wherever he went, or maybe that's our next story, wherever Inference went. I am definitely enjoying these stories. I kind of hope we see White, to be honest. White came out, but I don't think we really saw him in any of the stories, if I remember correctly. So it would be really nice to see White, like whether he just goes off by himself, like maybe Inference gives him a job and he's just like, okay, or if he just tags along, you know, like it's Inference and White. I'd have to look through my stuff again. I don't think he's been in like a main character in the stories. It'd be nice to have another story where Truth and Inference tag team again, just like how they did in the Halloween one, but you know, because Truth was disguised as Monstrous Bird. I think that would be fun to have again. And she was in. Was she in Zenaida? I think she did mention that she was there. No, because only Truth, or no, not Truth, only Inference ended up getting a different character for the D&D stuff. Because he was Cabinet of Curiosities. That was his S tier skin during that time. And then the other one was Gravekeeper with his high elf thing. Anyways, it'd be nice to see them again. Or not them again. Jesus. English. It'd be nice to have them teamed up again, is what I was trying to say. I think that'd be cool to, you know, see. Either that or, you know, it's been a while. Maybe we'll have Paranormal Detective again. I would love another ghost story, you know? It's been a while. The last time we saw him was when? When was the last time we saw him? I don't think... Was it with Ghost Candle? Was he the main guy in Ghost Candle, or was it like a lucky guy situation with that one? I think it was a lucky guy situation. I don't think Luca was there. I don't remember a lot of these stories, to be honest. But I luckily do record these, so I can always go back and check. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. Like, I hope you guys are getting used to my not being able to read properly and be stuck on words that some words I do know. It's just, you know, you look at it and it just gets deleted from your mind. And I just have trouble sometimes pronouncing words that I do know, because like it's just words that I don't really say on a daily basis, and yeah, I'm just bad. I need to go back to school. But I know this is long. I will probably, yeah. What am I talking about? I know this is long, but I'll probably cut it short. Maybe not really. Maybe I'll post this after the epilogue if there is an epilogue. So we'll see what happens. I'm saying this like as if the chapters are all done already. I'll probably cut bits and pieces. Well, we'll see what happens. You'll either see this whole thing or you won't. But yeah, probably do it either before the epilogue or after the epilogue. Anyways, I will see you until then. Bye. Ending. Sorry, even though the job was finished, I still dragged Mr. Netherpat all over the place with me. Don't worry about it, Lady Truth. Like I said, I'm happy to help however I can. Now that the police are here, it won't be long before they fill in this tunnel. Looks like we won't be able to use this shortcut again. After the job was declared over, Mr. Doesn't stay behind to talk to the police. I have no idea what he said to them. Maybe, thanks to his usual connections, he can help the police pin down their crimes more accurately. So, Lady Truth, what did you want to find out this time? There are still a lot of unanswered questions, but this time I'm just here to find someone and get an answer. Oh. Netherpat and I made our way back to the market. Is the answer you're looking for here, Lady Truth? I'm not sure, but if I don't ask, I know I'll never get an answer. I have so many questions swirling in my head. Everyone acts with a motive. The robbers hit the bank, but what were they really after? Flint wanted money, and the manager was trying to cover up her own crimes. But what about Antimony, the mastermind? What did she want, or was there something in the vault that drew her in? Flint said he took valuables that were easy to sell, but Antimony left with a small stash of her own. I went over the list. Most of what Miss Antimony took was just paperwork, with only a couple of valuables in the mix. She returned all the high-value items, but some of the documents are still missing. Miss Antimony said paper is easy to lose or damage, so those files might be gone for good. In the end, the bank had to write it off as lost and ask the original owners to come in and reissue their documents. Among the missing items were bonds and regular documents, but also some important files and confidential old letters. What could Antimony want with those? That kind of intel seems more up Mr. Goldfoyle's alley. I spotted Mr. Goldfoyle at the front desk and hurried over. Mr. Goldfoyle. Lady Truth, what can I do for you? I wanted to ask, was it really just 4 people in the crew that robbed Whitlow Bank? From start to finish, only 4 were involved? You've forgotten again? We never sell information that could reveal someone's identity. This suspicion is a shot in the dark, but the scattered clues in my mind just won't let me drop it. Then can you at least tell me if Miss Antimony used the pneumatic tubes to send anything today? I can't forget the clue I overlooked at first, the vibration from Antimony's clinic. What was really moving through those humming pipes? Was it Antimony's real goal? And if you trace the system back, it all leads to Mr. Goldfoyle, who controls the whole system. If she did send something, could you find out exactly what it was and where it went? Mr. Goldfoyle looked up from his papers and gave me a faint smile. That's a question that comes with a price tag. But I'd like to give you a hint. Call it a thank you for cracking the case so quickly. Why thank me? This whole thing didn't involve you directly, did it? Some things are better left untouched. Flint and his crew made too much noise this time, drew too much attention. The underground world doesn't need that kind of spotlight. It belongs in the city's shadows, and shadows aren't meant for daylight. A single bank heist can really stir up that much trouble? That's actually what I wanted to tell you next. As far as I know, Antimony did use the pneumatic system today. As for what she sent, it was probably just a few sheets of paper. I knew it. She was after a specific document in the vault. Did she get it? Who did she send it to? Maybe she sent it to your client? Huh? No way. Mr. Iridescence and I have been together almost the whole time. If you said Miss Antimony sent you a message, I'd be more likely to believe that. Sorry, just kidding. You can't afford the rest of the answer right now, so I'll keep it to myself for now. That's fine. I'm sure I can figure it out on my own. If you're set on digging deeper, then that wasn't a joke, Lady Truth. You really need to watch out for your client. If you're so good at reading people, didn't you notice your client is hiding a massive lie? You mean Mr. Iridescence? Iridescence and the whole Yulio family, they're dangerous, extremely dangerous. If you want the real truth, you have to be careful with them, or else. Or what? Or you might bring even more trouble down on yourself or your loved ones. Your client moves through the underground like he owns the place, carries special drugs, and knows how to put pressure on people. If a desk worker can do all that without the family's backing, then he's no ordinary folk. And if all Yulio desk workers are like that, the family's even scarier than you think. I did sense Mr. Iridescence was hiding something from me, but Mr. Goldfoyle, you're not exactly the helpful type. Why do you keep warning me? Oh! Let's just say I'm making an investment. I see some interesting possibilities for the future. I doubt you haven't noticed. After all, the Yulio family isn't the type to mess up even a basic gem report. I did some digging on the people who attacked you. They're just hired hands. The mastermind is staying well hidden, but it's not antimony. She happened to be talking with me at the time, discussing a partnership between her group and Hermes. Even though I know Iridescence is lying, I never told anyone. It's his private business. And since it's a lie with no proof, it should be less likely to spread than the truth. So how did Goldfoil find out? Was it Hermes, that underground intel network that seems to know everything, even about the surface world? Goldfoil isn't lying to me, I can feel that, but he's not telling me everything either. It's like he's carefully choosing which truths to share. There are still bigger secrets hiding in the dark. Wait, you must know something you're not telling me, right? Mr. Goldfoil, can't you just give me a hint? You must know what Miss Antimony took and who she sent it to, even just a clue about what was on that paper. That's all I can say. You two should get going. If you're really that curious, why not ask the so-called Mr. Iridescence yourself? So-called? At some point, the guard showed up beside us, ignoring my protests and nether packs. He grabbed us both and escorted us out. He marched us straight to the exit, watched us climb out, and made sure we were gone. Why did I get kicked out too? Sorry about that, Mr. Netherpat. Should we try another way back in? I'll head back on my own. You still wanted to talk to Mr. Iridescence, right, Lady Truth? After talking with Goldfoil, there was indeed something I wanted to ask Iridescence before leaving. That's true, but before we get into that, Mr. Netherpack, do you have a moment to talk? I have a few questions for you. Of course, Lady Truth. Go ahead. First question. Earlier, we were in such a rush to recover the gem that I didn't really check in on you. Is everything alright? Are you having trouble adjusting? Don't worry, Lady Truth. I'm doing just fine here. Alright, then on to my second question. Can you tell me why you're here? Miss Sway vouched for you. I doubt she'd send you to a place like this for no reason, right? I'm here to look into an old case. Miss Sway found out that a key figure in that case is active around here, and I agreed to help with the investigation. This old case, does it have anything to do with Mr. Goldfoil? What makes you think that, Lady Truth? Just a hunch. You seem really interested in Mr. Goldfoil and the market he runs. But you're also careful not to let him notice you. Sharp as always, Miss Sway suspects that Mr. Goldfoil knows something about the case and he might still be holding crucial evidence. I haven't found any leads yet, but I did notice that Hermes recently started paying a lot more attention to the Yolio family and their Research Institute investments. That was right after Miss Antimony arrived. The theft hadn't happened yet, and the Yolio family's investigator hadn't gone underground. Why not just ask Mr. Goldfoil directly? Maybe he wouldn't mind answering. That would tip him off that someone's still digging into the old case. Miss Way doesn't want to give Mr. Goldfoil any more leverage. For example, this time Mr. Goldfoil is helping you, probably because our actions could benefit him in some bigger way. I see, do you mind telling me more? I might be able to help with the research too. I just sent back the Oceanus documents I researched for Mr. Inference. Wait, hang on. No wonder Miss Antimony looked so familiar. I saw her in a news report. She was a passenger on that research vessel. Lady Truth, what are you talking about? A research vessel? Oh, it's nothing. I just suddenly figured something out. Mr. Netherpat, if you ever need any help, please don't hesitate to ask. Here's my address. You can always reach out. I'd be happy to help. Now, I should ask Miss Antimony about... Wait, where did she go? I said goodbye to Mr. Netherpat and looked outside the vault. Only Mr. Iridescence and a few Yulio family members were still there. Miss Antimony went to point out the locations where the rest of the stolen goods are hidden. I sent people with her to mark the spots. I see. Will that take long? I wanted to talk to her a bit more. To make sure everyone's story matches, someone from the Yulio family will be with her the whole time. I'm afraid it won't be possible for you to speak with her alone. Even though the stolen items have been recovered, the Yulio family publicity. That's right, and we'll be giving you generous compensation. We hope you won't mention this job to anyone. Mr. Iridescent seems intent on keeping me away from Miss Antimony, or am I just imagining things? Mr. Guilfoyle mentioned that Miss Antimony delivered a document at the time. When we first found Mr. Flint, Mr. Iridescent did search through the files at his hideout. Mr. Iridescent obviously isn't the one Miss Antimony sent the package to, but is he after that document too? Let's leave Miss Antimony aside for now, Mr. Iridescent. I have a question for you. Is the Yulio family really only interested in getting back the Aurora gem? Oh. Yes, we were only trying to recover Aurora. He's lying. Or are you still worried about the items that weren't recovered, Lady Truth? The police just finished their inventory. Most of the valuables and artworks have been returned. The main things missing are bonds and paperwork. And those can be replaced as long as you have the right documents, so it's not a big deal. Is that so? Then I guess I can relax. Am I lying too? The job's done. Thank you for your help, Lady True. The Yulio family will send your payment to your office tomorrow. And that radio, you can keep it if you like. Consider it a souvenir from this case. Also, you might hear rumors about me or the Yulio family from others. Most rumors aren't true, so I hope you'll take them with a grain of salt. As they say, the head of Hermes is the ultimate businessman, always neutral and serving no one but himself. He kicked out our investigators, then personally delivered intel to us and steered the investigation. He's a dangerous man who only acts for profit. Please be careful, Lady Truth. Well then, I'll be off. Wait a second, Mr. Iridescent. What about what you've been hiding with this job? Isn't there something else you want to tell me? Those details aren't related to the case. Knowing more will only complicate things. Even so, do you really want to dig deeper? I'll decide for myself what's too much trouble. If the root of that trouble is criminal, I just can't ignore it. I'm a detective. I believe you, but now isn't the right time for a detective to get involved. Maybe next time when we meet again, I'll bring you a real case. Mr. Iridescent's turned to leave, his staff crowding around him until I could barely see him anymore. All I could make out was Snow White on his shoulder, waving a fluffy paw at me. I returned to my office alone. Everything looked exactly the same as when I left. Sunlight slanted across my desk, but I didn't feel that usual sense of relief that comes after finishing a job. The radio was still tuned to the underground frequency, broadcasting the distant joys and sorrows of strangers straight into my ears. I clutched the badge that was never returned to Mr. Flint, this symbol of honor, and listened to story enthusiasts' detective tale to its end. In the story, the clever Frey saw through the villain's plot, uncovered their entire operation, and rid the city of its crime syndicate. And me, maybe tomorrow some lady will show up at my office asking me to find her missing pet. In this almost dreamlike sense of normalcy, I sat and wondered, did I really finish my job? It feels like everyone's celebrating the case being wrapped up, but I know that's not the whole story. My contacts on the street say the Yulio family is still quietly sending out investigators searching for something. This story isn't over yet. I haven't found all of the answers. Just like the vast world hidden beneath the city, in its shadows, there are still secrets lying in wait. All storylines have ended, and I'm very sorry if you can hear voices in the background. Highly skilled, they always carry a selection of potions. Oh. Well, there we have it. That's it. That's actually it. I did talk about the story from the last chapter, and so I'll probably put that more towards the end. So hopefully you'll see this part first before you actually see me talking about the story, because I did, like, as I was talking about it, and then I was like, oh yeah, there's probably gonna be like an epilogue kind of thing, like a final chapter ending chapter thing, and of course there was. That was very, very interesting. There's a lot going on. We still don't know much about Mr. Iridescent. What's that document? It's probably the Oceanus document. Maybe there was something there that was on there that they didn't want getting out. So Antimony disguised herself pretty much, and was able to get it. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what our next story is. Is it gonna be Emma again? Is it gonna be Naive? Or maybe we'll go back to Luca. We haven't seen Luca in a while, you know? Maybe they'll do like a team up, you know? Maybe we'll actually get a story with White, because I mean we got White. White was given to us, you know, but we still haven't. I don't think we've had a story with him in it. And if we do, I don't remember. I'll have to look at my stories. But yeah, like I said, sorry if you can hear voices. That's it for this story, though. I hope you let me know what you guys thought about this story and your thoughts about the whole thing, and if you've come to any conclusions or any thoughts about what's going on and stuff. I wonder if we'll see Mr. Goldfoil again. Maybe we'll see him, because I mean he kind of did show up as a B tier, B tier, yeah, I think it was a B tier skin in the ocean one. I think I'm assuming that's the same one, or if it's Lady Bella, or yeah, Lady Bella and Amethyst Duchess, or Duchess Amethyst, I forget her name, where they're like just two different people in a way. But yes, that was Hidden Trails, and cannot wait for the next story. I'll see you guys later. Bye!
Ghostly signals drift beneath the earth, veiling the only code to the heist. In the hunter's shadowy world, there are no stray bullets, only deliberate accidents. The prey leaves more than just blood behind. Restless frequencies haunt the airwaves. When treasure disappears into darkness, ambition sounds the death knell. A bank's greatest vulnerability isn't a crack in the vault. It's the person holding the key. Let debt and guilt be swallowed by the night. Here, truth is irrelevant. Only silence matters. Every recovered treasure is merely a new stake in the next game.
Oh, it's actually taking a lot longer this time.
I know. Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
we got it! Hey,
Wait,
friend!
let me get off the stream thing.
I mean, I think it would be better because then at least you're gonna know what I'm choosing.
No, but then that's gonna be a shitty win. Do I want that?
That's up to you. Are we both Aesop?
Or did we put the same damn skin?
Yeah, we're both Aesop. That's funny. Damn, we all really chose 3.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, bro.
Okay, so 3 is the problem. If I...
How? How? I literally didn't... Okay. I didn't choose 4 because I thought other people would choose 4. Damn, we really both chose 2. Yeah. I haven't even moved, bro. I can't.
It's always the one I think about pressing first and then I change my mind. Wait, I did not mean to press that one. If you pick this one, okay. Oh my god.
Bro, I can't even move. I literally just keep choosing the same
my
one
God.
other people are choosing. Bro, are you freaking for real?
How has this happened so many times?
Bruh! I can't, bro! I can't! How? Jesus lords! Like, I can choose any of them!
Okay, I meant to press number 4. God damn it. Oh my god, I could have fucked up 3 if I did that. That 3 is in front of me by 2, and I don't really like that.
What a weird.
Oh my god, bro.
Damn.
Yes! I almost chose 2!
At this point, I'm just trying to stop 3 from moving forward.
Oh, it's okay, I stopped him that time.
Okay, so I know the only way 3 can.
Oh, well, he just won.
Well, 3 just won. Wait, nah. Yeah, wait. Oh, but 3 can't move.
Oh, now he won.
No, not yet. He still hasn't moved.
Yes! I almost chose 2. I almost chose 2. Wait, I just won.
Yeah.
Ah! I was stuck at the beginning for so long, and I actually won this
What the fuck do
time.
you mean I got 4th? Oh shit, my phone.
Oh,